Da, 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 da.
Hello?
There's a bird on his head. There's a
Hello?
bird on his head. Oh my
I am
god.
here.
Huh.
Hi.
Okay, now I can hear you. Okay.
We merged.
Everyone here? Is everyone here?
I assume so.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Right.
3, 2, 1. Welcome to BatYard's Finest, bringing you the finest Batman and Superman and more in pop culture. I am your host, Josh from Metropolis, and sorry about the delay and and the phone call delay that as well. But it might have worked. The timing might have been perfect for how the delay is for the broadcast. So I'll go in order. Whoever's left of me.
It is I, Jerry, your Green Lantern from Ola.
And what's up? I'm Matt from Gotham. What's going on, guys?
So I know you guys have BSPS. I just have a couple things, but I don't even really. We don't even have to dive deep into. We'll just breeze over them quick. I know Jerry has something he wants to share, so I don't want to hold you up.
I'll let you guys go first because this is such a left field curveball. It's just gonna segue everybody off track.
Oh, okay. That's fair. All right, Matt, what do you have?
What's his name? My one news I had was that what's his name from the Flash movie?
Ezra Miller.
Yeah, I never could remember his name properly, so I just don't want to try it. I don't like him anyway.
Ezra Miller.
No. You don't call him Ursula. The fuck's wrong with you, man?
Ursula?
No, but that character has so much respect. No one can do that to that. No, he finds out he went to Hawaii for some like bullshittery, and he got super overly drunk and started harassing people, and got arrested. So, and it was like literally like a couple days before I think it was a week before they launched the third installment of Fantastic Beasts that he's a primary character towards.
So he's fired.
So like,
movie?
Oh wow!
So like,
fired?
What?
Is he fired?
No, he didn't get fired. I don't believe.
Oh,
he just like every time like something big's like happening, and like in his career, that's like a more of like a premiere wise for a movie. He kind of like fucks up and does something stupid.
Yeah, I know he like I don't know. He tackled a girl or something who was like said, "Are you making fun of me?" or something weird. That was like months back though. That was like at least like
that was that. Then there was a
ago.
one where he choked out a fan because supposedly
that's what I'm talking about.
Something. Yeah. That's the one. Okay.
Yeah,
I know that part of that at the same time. Supposedly, everybody comes to defensive. Everybody tried to talk about that. They're like, "Oh no, she asked for that. Asked for all of that." I'm like, huh? Because the way it was described that he just maliciously just choked her out for her saying something towards him, and then he got arrested for his stupid shit.
I don't know. I don't really know the context of that, or I don't know the context of the Hawaii thing either. Do you know?
The Hawaii thing is supposedly he got superly over intoxicated and started harassing women
karaoke.
Okay. Yeah, I remember. I kind of vaguely remember that. Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't important enough for me to remember. Not like Will Smith slapping the sugar honey iced tea out of Chris Rock.
Yeah.
Yo, okay. I'm so over this whole situation with this Will Smith thing.
The theme of this episode is just celebrities beating up people or harassing people.
It's not good.
Yeah,
it's not good, and it's like fucked.
It's not a good look for Will Smith because I'm like everybody. I agree. Defend your wife's honor, but that was assault, and if you wanted to, it's on recorded camera for the world to see, and you can't really try to get out of that one.
No, you cannot.
Yeah,
and the bullshit of it was.
It's definitely going to hurt his career for sure.
Oh yeah, but
Yeah,
like
because
it's
he had I think he had like 2 movie projects coming soon, and
Yeah,
one of them I think
Netflix
was
dropped
with
it.
Netflix. I think. Oh, they dropped it
Netflix
already.
blocked it. Netflix dropped it because of the bullshit.
I don't
Jesus.
Because they
blame
weren't
Netflix.
dealing with that.
I don't blame him.
Because
He dropped that
supposedly,
on
like it was
Academy,
like,
too.
but what's it called? Like it's kind of like bold because like it's like you see him laugh, like you see him enjoying the joke, then 2 seconds later he's walking up and like. So wait, what? There's like miscommunication on what you're doing with the joke. Did you take it as was that sarcastic laughing, or was it legit laughing? And
No,
someone, the wife just poked you, saying, "Go defend me and get up
he
there
was
and do
legit
something."
laughing.
He
Because
was
I
laughing,
saw like a
legit.
video of Jada saying, "I don't care what nobody has to say about this bald head. I'm gonna love it and embrace it." And I know for me, I've got black women in my life, and hair is one of those things for them. It's like, don't really make fun of it and don't ask too many questions because that's a sensitive topic. Because you never know, like some women, do go bald and they have hair loss problems and stuff.
Apparently,
But
she
I'm
has
like,
alopecia or something. It's alopecia, I think, is like what she has. Apparently,
I didn't even know she had that. I
I
just
didn't
studied
either.
the hell of cutting it because women
Yeah,
do that. I
it's
was
like a
like, oh,
style.
she's
Yeah,
just
that's
cutting her hair to just cut it all off
that's
and start a new fashion trend.
that's what I mean. You don't even
Doesn't
know
look
what's
bad on
true.
her, so
They're, they're
whatever.
they're fucking Hollywood actors. They could be fucking bullshitting about anything. Who the fuck knows if she has it or not? It just could be just some defense that she has for shaving her head. Who knows really? But they're like their dirty laundry's been out for the public for so long. Like she
Yeah.
cheated on him, and then like now like everyone's gonna dive into it more because it's like been in the forefront of everyone's television screens. Like millions of
Well,
people witness
the
this.
thing is, the thing is with him, like her cheating on him, it's kind of like dumb. Like it was their open relationship. They have an open marriage, so technically, it's
Apparently.
like so. Like, where's like the stopping point? Like, you have an open marriage. Like, are you supposed to say like, "Hey, Will, go and fuck this guy. Be home at 5 to make dinner. Okay, see ya." And see if he says, "All right, cool, thanks, honey," and that's not cheating. Like, or just like,
It's
what is?
their dynamic is weird, and I respect Will Smith as an actor. I love Will Smith in most all projects he's done, except
Mhm.
like what was that one he did with his son, Life After Earth? I didn't really care for that, but
Oh,
Like,
After Earth.
Independence Day, iRobot, fucking what was the other
Pursuit
movie
of
with the
Happiness.
dog? Pursuit of Happiness.
The dog one?
I Am
Oh,
Legend.
Legend. I Am
Yes.
Legend. Yeah.
Yeah, like every
Where you
movie
already
he's
said
been
that.
in has been just fucking banger. And now this, and I'm like, well, there goes one of my favorite actors. First it was Johnny Depp, now Will Smith.
Yeah, I feel more bad for Johnny Depp, but Will Smith just dug his own
Yeah.
grave, basically. Like, I have more
He
remorse
could have
for
solved it
Johnny Depp.
afterwards.
Yeah.
He could have solved it
Yeah, you
after
should
the
just
he
talk
lost his
to
own
him like a
Oscar. He
person.
lost his Oscar.
Did he lose it? I thought he had
He
it.
lost his no,
This
no,
one?
no. He
Oh,
had it, then he had to return it.
he had
He
to give
had to
it
He
back.
return it.
fucking had his
Yeah.
speech and everything. Like, he should have not. He
After
should have like
after
been
he got it,
evicted
he
right
got
after.
his Oscar, he had to return it.
I mean, he
I
shouldn't have
think
even
they
had
could
it
have
to
at
begin
least
with.
let him keep it.
Yeah, at that point, just let him keep it. But like, they should have dealt with that right when it happened. Like, not let him have his acceptance speech. Like just let him evacuate
Mhm.
him from the premises at that moment.
Well, they
Let
tried.
him-
They actually supposedly tried, and he supposedly
Yeah.
there's news of like him like refusing to leave.
Oh, there's footage.
No, like supposedly there's news. I don't know about footage.
Oh, okay.
I haven't seen
Uh,
footage of it, but supposedly the
I don't
Oscars
know.
reported stating that we tried to remove Will Smith from the Oscars, and we couldn't. He refused to get removed.
The Oscars are a joke. I don't really care
They
about them.
are. No one
It's
cares
kind of dumb.
about the Oscars until Will Smith smacked Chris Rock. I know Chris Rock's ticket sales have been skyrocketing, so good for Chris Rock, I guess. And no one really gave a shit about the Oscars since like I don't know, since Lord of the Rings came out, really, that was the last time
Yeah,
the Oscars
that's
were
the last time I
respectable.
remember anybody really talking about it.
Yeah. That's the last time when people actually gave a shit. Now, like, it's just like them rubbing their own ego, basically. Like, it's just studios
Stroking their dick on there.
Yeah, exactly. There's just
It's
studios
like,
paying
who
for
has
the
the better
award.
movie? How many
Yeah.
Oscars do you have? I have 5,000.
Yeah, it's
What
stupid.
other BS you got, Crispy?
I don't know. I really don't like. Really, like, I kind of like slightly busy this week to get more BS other than the Miller one. Oh, add to the Miller one. Did you? Oh yeah, he threatened the KKK out of nowhere video too. Prior of the Hawaii.
That's
what?
cool, I guess.
Out of nowhere, out of
The
content.
KKK?
There's nothing for him to be attached to this like situation. He literally just makes a video stating, I literally watched it at work at lunch with my friend Billy. And we're both of us watching it and we're just really confused on what's happening because we're just like, where's the contents of like why he's yelling at them for? Other than they are the KKK. And we're just like, he just literally just saying, yeah, I'm gonna kill you guys. I'm gonna sneak and kill you all. And I'm just like, what is happening? We don't even know why you're doing this. There's no like contents of like what provoked him to start this video. There's no story. There's no attachment other than they're just a KKK and he's trying to kill them all through something. I don't know. He's gonna secretly do it. It's confusing as shit.
I mean, I appreciate the sentiment, I guess.
Yeah. Right.
I just want to know what provoked him to be like, I'm just gonna do this. They're attacking an organization that's probably can defeat him faster than he can defeat them.
I mean, yeah, I guess Superman fought the KKK, and now this wannabe Flash is trying to fight the KKK. I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know where to go.
I don't
with
know.
that.
It's just crazy.
No, I mean I guess the message is good, but the execution sounds very poor. So
it is really poor. It's just
poor is one way to describe it.
It was like an it was.
I mean, as a race thing for me, like I appreciate somebody threatening the KKK, but I would much rather it be like, I don't know, like if Saddam Hussein was still alive and he threatened the KKK, I'd be like, oh fuck yeah, he's gonna get it done. He's gonna chop their heads off.
Someone who can actually do something like this. I guess I don't know why Saddam Hussein is your first choice, but okay.
Oh my god!
I mean, he got stuff done when he was alive.
Big Danny, Big Booty Danny.
Murderer.
We just talked about him getting arrested earlier. I just remembered his stupid video, so I just brought it up a little late.
Yeah, Big Booty Dandy. We just discussed that Ezra Miller. Sorry, there's a bird in my way. That Ezra Miller did get arrested. So, yeah.
Jansen? He said booty, so he's showing off his booty.
Yeah, he got excited. I think that's really all the BS I really had was just those stories that Matt mentioned. I know there's like some little stuff, but
all right.
Remember.
Now,
yeah.
This is I guess this could qualify as BS. So this has to do with what happened at work today.
Oh god.
So do you guys think that Batman and Superman enjoy French toast? Like on a casual day, like, oh, I'm gonna get some French toast.
Yeah,
sure. Yeah.
Do you think they eat it with salt and pepper?
No. Fucking Clark Kent definitely gets it. Maple syrup fresh from the farm. He gets that farm maple syrup fresh from the tap in his fucking backyard, and he introduced it to Batman. That's how it worked. That's how it happened. That's canon.
Matt, is Bruce Wayne gonna just pull the old maple syrup reserve from the cellar?
Yeah, but it's gonna be like 20 years old, maple syrup preserved pretty well, and it has the
like
best
really good
taste.
stuff. He's gonna get the good stuff from Kent Farm.
Now, the reason I proposed this question is because somebody told me they eat French toast with salt and pepper.
Huh.
I'm trying to
I could
ponder
see
this.
okay.
Like,
I could see that working. To be honest, I mean toast. You could butter it up and just put the salt on it. You know, if you want to do that, or like have it like a sandwich base. But I get it more than fucking putting salt and grilling a fucking watermelon. I get that more. If I was gonna choose a grilled watermelon with salt on it or French toast with salt on it, I would pick French toast with salt on it and not castrate a watermelon.
But there's pepper. Don't forget the pepper.
Yeah, that's fine. Pepper's good. I mean, you already put salt on it. It's like if you put eggs on it, I could see that being good with eggs. If you put eggs on
Well,
it and then
the
like
thing is, like, you
do it
dip
like
it
that.
in eggs first,
gonna be
eggs and
fluff,
cinnamon,
though.
and then you cook it.
Yeah,
Don't-
see, you
there's
put
no
salt and
cinnamon.
pepper
Like,
on
so
after,
I get it
not dirt.
because sometimes if I get it, and some people sometimes make French toast and they overdo the egg, and then there's this like excess egg on it with the cinnamon toast. So I get it if that was the way it was cooked up, maybe it would work that way. But if you do like a proper French toast where you can't taste the egg, but you just get the nice French toast taste, maybe it would work out. Maybe slip in. But if like it's an overdone runny egg French toast style thing, yeah, no. I think that'd be the one. I think that would be the one that would actually take the salt and the pepper because it would work. Is the extra egg needs that
Taking
flavor?
everyone to cooking class. This was
Yeah.
an impromptu cooking lesson.
Matt's
Oh.
the chef. Matt's
I've
one who
been
knows
the
how to cook
cooking.
it.
I
Yeah.
lied. I actually have one other piece of BS.
Oh
Oh,
no!
Crispy, tell your mom to make French toast using only salt and pepper.
Yeah, have it next time you have French toast.
Do it for Easter brunch.
Yeah, that should be the
No,
challenge.
she does make French toast, and that's my uncle's favorite breakfast. We're not ruining it.
If you do it with Chris, oh my god, you just killed Jerry.
That's
Do it
Chris's
with
like
Chris.
favorite thing to make, and she like
That-
every time like
Don't
if she's
tell him
gonna make it,
anything.
he's just like there. He's just
Don't
there.
tell him anything. Don't tell him anything. Just give it to him and just see his reaction. That would be great. And
You have to
please-
do it now.
Please record it too. I need to see the reaction.
Oh no!
Please record it. We don't even have to
Oh,
post it. I
God.
just need to see it for my own self.
I have to see that one.
Oh no! Oh no!
And then the other BS I have, which I guess you could segue with salt and pepper and French toast, is I don't know, Crispy, I know me and you have talked about it, but Josh, I don't know if you've heard anything, but all the people that I know that have seen the new Morbius movie, I've only heard really good stuff
Oh.
about it.
What?
And then,
I heard
like-
the exact opposite. I heard it was.
Yeah, that's what
I've been
like,
hearing
I've
the
also
same
heard I've seen people online saying like
That's
this was
crazy.
the worst Marvel movie.
Yeah.
It was more bad than the Eternals, and I'm like,
That's what I've been
this
hearing.
is two very polar opposite ends of the coin,
Yeah.
and I have to see this.
I want to go
watch
see it, but
Did you
everyone's
guys
like,
see it? Did you guys see it yet?
"What?"
My
No.
older brother, I don't think he's in the chat with us today. He went and saw it because I was talking to him over the weekend, and he said he enjoyed it a lot. So I'm like, okay, I know we have kind of similar taste in movies, so if he enjoyed it, I know I'm probably gonna enjoy it. So
I was supposed to go see it Saturday and Sunday, but both days got canceled. So
You're gonna see it
I
twice.
was
Why would
well.
you see it
My
twice?
friend from one of my friends wanted to go see it from work, so I said yeah. Then Chris and my dad wanted to go see it, and then Chris pulls up his ratings and says, this doesn't look good on
Yeah.
IMDb and shit." And I'm like, all right, supposedly like in the critics section, it's like garbage, but if you go and like see it like the actual like it's like there's a people's rating, it's actually doing pretty good rating, and I'm really confused by it. So
Yeah.
he's going off more critic wise and not the people wise. So we didn't go see it.
Yeah,
I definitely want to see it and have my own opinion about it because I want to see it because I'm like Morbius. He's he's not my favorite Spider-Man villain. He's
good
kind of forgettable. But I was like, oh shit, Morbius, this is gonna be interesting because Jared Leto's not playing the Joker, so I think this will be pretty decent.
Oh man, I don't know. After that, I don't need to see him in any other comic book movie. But wasn't he in like Blade or something? He was in something else. Jared Leto.
Blade?
Yeah, wasn't he in Blade?
Yeah.
He was in something.
No,
I have to remember.
I don't think he was. If he was,
in
it's
Blade.
been so long since I've watched Blade, I've just forgotten.
I never seen Blade. I just thought he was in it.
You've never seen Blade?
No,
oh
I never seen Blade. I never seen Hellboy either. That's another.
What?
I'd rather watch
Hellboy.
Yeah, I would. I just.
What is wrong with you?
I think I started to watch Hellboy. I just never finished it.
The original?
Yeah, not
from like 2003.
Yeah, the one that. Yeah, that one. I haven't seen the newer one either, but that's a movie I don't want to see.
He's in Blade Runner. You're close. He was in Blade Runner.
Oh, he's in the new one. Oh. He's in the new one. I thought he was in something else. Okay.
No, he's in Blade Runner 2049.
Oh, well, yeah, that's definitely after. I don't know. Well, anyway,
that's all I have. Yeah. Quick impromptu lesson about cooking and Jared Leto.
Yeah, I would only watch Morbius or whatever if I was gonna go with one of you guys at like a kind of shitty theater, not like a pristine theater. I don't need to see this in like IMAX or anything. But I think that's the only way I would watch it.
Well, we take you to the Regal with the shittiest theater, so it's like the one like that's like a 5-seater, but it's super fucking long.
I feel like it's not even worthy of like Regal. I would like go to like FDR, like a small local theater, to watch that. I don't want to go. I don't want to go to any like.
The thing is, like FDR makes everything fucking worse. Like it makes it 10 times worse.
It's already gonna be shitty, so might as well see it at a shitty theater. At least that's what I'm getting out of it. It's gonna be. I know I'm not gonna like it. I don't think I'll like it at all.
I like it. It got me and my dad's attention a little bit, and we're just like, this kind of looks interesting. I'd like to see where they're going with it, because it's been like what Jerry said. It's like it's been a while since we heard Morpheus like come out onto like somewhere big stream like wide news thing. So like it was just like, they're really dragging him out of like the freaking woodworks here. Let's see it. It looks pretty good.
You said Morpheus. It's Morbius. You want to fuck?
No, Morpheus. My bad.
Yeah, you're thinking.
I'm thinking
Leslie.
Sorry.
Wait, no.
Yeah. Now I am.
What's the actor's name? I almost Lawrence Fishburne. Lawrence
Fishburne. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the only thing Morbius related I've even seen is when I went to the comic book store, I think like 3 weeks ago, I think he has a new series. And I was like, what? Morbius has a standalone series now? Yeah, because I recognize the cover art for it. So I'll have to find it and post it up. Haven't read it. And I still haven't picked up issue 6 of DC versus Vampires. So I definitely have to do that.
Is this the last one?
You're in the vampire section. That's what's there.
There's still 6 more, but this is the climax. How they advertise it.
Oh yes. Speaking of comic books, I highly recommend anybody getting the freaking Power Rangers versus Godzilla versus Power Rangers. That's the right title. The first issue dropped down a few weeks ago. Next one's gonna be coming up soon. I think more towards the end of the month. The next issue, but it's not bad. It picks up pretty well. You're in the universe of our '90s the '90s style Power Rangers, the one we grew up with, and we go to Godzilla's universe of like just monster and chaos. That's literally where it goes, and we have to figure out. And Tommy has to be that asshole that picked the fight with Godzilla. But he's doing it for a good reason, because he doesn't know what's going on.
Is he still like evil Tommy, or is he like
he's good Tommy.
The Mighty Morphin series where he's Lord Draken and he's just this fucking Ranger killer.
No, he's good Tommy. He's good Green Ranger Tommy. He's with the gang and everything. So he's still playing with his own rules like Tommy usually does until later on when he becomes more up to a leader role-ish thing. But like, yeah, so Tommy goes goes with them to like the Rita and her gang to a different universe to get away from Power Rangers and to like find something else. And she kind of likes that the kaijus are just wrecking the universe, so she's like, "This is awesome," and she wants to stay. But Tommy ends up waking up to Godzilla destroying a whole fucking city and walking away. And he's like, "Yo, fuck this shit," and he calls in the Dragon Zord to have him fight Godzilla. And the Dragon Zord does not look like it's doing well because the King of Monsters is gonna wreck that shit pretty well.
Fuck yeah.
At this moment. But yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. They pull out some like old Godzilla like people too, like some aliens from the way later series, like super late in the series. I think with the Shonen style Godzilla. It's like the weird aliens that have the little black balls on top of their head.
Nice.
They brought over like King Ghidorah and I think Gigan. No, maybe Gigan. Like that.
They bring Jet Jaguar.
No, Jet Jaguars. That's an Earth thing.
Okay.
That's an Earth thing.
Yeah, but aren't Power Rangers from Earth?
What?
Power Rangers are from Earth, so you could have Jet Jaguar. You know, that would totally fit.
We may get him. I don't know. It's still early, so.
Okay.
But the city where Godzilla's destroying is the city where like the Power Rangers are from in Godzilla's universe.
Jerry, what were we gonna say?
Cool.
I have one BSBS before we end, but I don't want to. If you had something you wanted to add,
no, I'm basically done.
No, I was just gonna say if you had anything, because Morbius was my last thing that I had.
Oh, okay, mine's kind of like. Well, I'll just get into it, and I have a question for you guys, and it'll make sense once I get into it.
Right.
So last night, speaking of FDR Theater. I had a dream last night that I was at FDR Theater, which is, if you don't know what FDR Theater is, it's just like small hometown theater in Hyde Park, New York, where, you know, President Roosevelt grew up, which literally the Roosevelt home is right across the street from the theater. So that's why it's called FDR Theater.
Yep.
And it's like, you know, the local theater, it's not really the greatest, you know, it has like sticky floor and like basic seating that's like made out of cardboard filling or whatever. So not really that great. Unless they updated it.
It's like
I think they updated it. But
they did, but the sticky floor is still there. It's like a class in porn check.
I recommend it. I recommend going just to get that hometown.
You never know what's on that floor.
Local theater, if you're ever there, you know. I mean, you could get that at any theater, but it's, you know, it's one of those kind of aesthetics. Anyway, I had a dream that I was at the theater where I was watching like the Batman or something, and I had right after the movie ended, the lights came on, and then Bruce Campbell was in the front of like the projector, and he was just like signing autographs and just doing this whole show, and it was awesome. And if you guys don't know who Bruce Campbell is, he's very well known for Evil Dead, for being Ash Williams in the Evil Dead series. I guess Sam from what's that show? Burn Notice. So those are two iconic things that he's been in, and other stuff like Briscoe County Jr. Anyway, so to get to my point, I guess if I was going to meet any Hollywood celebrity, Bruce Campbell would be the person I would be the most stoked to meet. Just because, you know, all those movies tie-ins, and he lives out in the mountains, which is something I want to do when I get older. I want to like basically have his life. if I could do anything, I would want to do Bruce Campbell's life, or, you know, at least meet him or whatever. Anyway, so if you guys could meet any celebrity today who's living, who would you meet and why?
Man, that's a hard one.
Ouch.
Oh, gee.
I met one of them already, so that's cool. But like,
I met the voice of Lord Zed at a con I went to 10 years ago, and that was like the highlight. I was like, awesome. Before I die, I have to meet Lord Zed's voice actor.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Like, me and you both met Danny Trejo, and he was on my top 10.
Oh, yeah.
To
Did he
like,
give you
like
a high
meet.
five or wave or something?
Yeah, I got a high five.
Yeah,
We're
that's what it
sitting
was.
at this like con in Rhode Island, and we're in Providence, Rhode Island, at a con at the Dunkin' Donut Center,
Yeah,
and
that
we're
was
at
it.
like
Yeah,
this little.
that was,
There's like a hotel attached to like it's weird. It's the Dunkin' Donut Center. That's like it's a there's like center set up like a 3 to 4 story center, and it has a hotel in the middle. Then it's connected to a mall. It's pretty dope setup, and we're just sitting at like this. We're sitting at this like table, and we're just bullshitting. And out of nowhere, people are just like, "Yo, it's Danny Trejo," and I'm just like, "What?" And me and Josh are just in costume, just relaxing because we're just running around like
yeah.
idiots. And we just said like, "Hey," I was just like, "Oh shoot, Danny Trejo, high five!" And he's just like high fives, and we'll keeps on going. It's just like,
Yeah,
I'm like, shit, this is
he
crazy.
gave me a wave. He gave me a nod and a wave. Like he acknowledged I was there. Matt got the interaction, but it was pretty.
Yeah,
And we saw the Stranger.
he was nice. He was dope.
No, it was the It Kids.
True.
It Kids were like running
Yeah,
around in the
kid.
hotel. Same thing. Stranger Things. Same shit. But
It has the same. It has one. It has what's his
Yeah.
name from
Finn.
the
Finn
Stranger.
Wolfhard.
Stranger.
Finn Wolfhard.
If
I remember in that when we saw the It Kids, they're running around. They went towards the elevator. One guy literally went up to the elevator to ask him for an autograph, and they said, "No, man, we're trying to go back to our rooms, and you're being danger." Because he
did he
tried
say
getting
that?
into the
Did he
elevator.
say that? Did he?
Yeah, the guy said, yeah, like the guy came back. He's like, they kicked me out because I thought I was stranger danger.
Yeah,
I
no,
wanted to say hi and get an autograph.
I feel like once they're at the hotel, it was at the end of the night. We like did a whole con. Like they did the whole day job. If you want to get their autograph, you do it at the convention. Once they're at the hotel, they're off the books. You know, that's when the time is off. So like you let them just be people at that point. And I think that's why they acknowledged us, because we just wanted to high five and just say hi and just, you know, let them do their thing. You know, we just sat down. So but yeah, I think there's a time and place, and they did it all day. So that was a good day.
If I had to pick one celebrity, it would probably be. God, I'm still trying to think because this is a tough one.
I mean, that's celebrity that like. Bruce Campbell's like my actor celebrity, but if I was going to meet a musician, that would be a totally different thing.
If I'm going to meet a Hollywood celebrity, definitely want to meet Leonardo DiCaprio. I'm a huge Leo fan.
I would say that
gotta definitely. If I ever get the chance to meet Leo, I'm gonna take it. I'd meet Leonardo.
Yeah, that's a good choice. That's a good one.
I kind of like I'm like up in the air with like 3 different freaking like people, but like I know one's a better outcome because he's more local at some points. It'd be like Keanu Reeves because he's always in the city.
Oh yeah,
he's riding his bike.
Yeah, I mean they're all in the city. They're all there. They all go
he's
there.
the one I know. He's more well. I'm like he's the one that's like always like there riding his bike around and doing shit.
Yeah.
So like I'm like I have more chance to catch him than anybody else. So like I would it's basically just like if anything, I'll just ask him, how do you so like zen to your like lifestyle? Like what is your thing? Because if you see him, he's just like whatever. He's just doing his thing. He just Keanu's Keanu. You don't fucking
he's riding subways. He seems like he's just kind of doing his thing.
He's like, I'm just me. I'm just doing it like my daily thing. I don't care. I don't have to post like I'm out at the store, y'all. Like just doing this shit. Like, I'm getting fucking groceries. Like
if I
could meet a director, it would definitely be Tim Burton.
Oh, okay, that's a good choice. That's a good choice. Tim Burton, I feel like Tim Burton's kind of lost his touch, though. I feel like he was like
a little bit,
Now he's not.
Early Tim Burton or late Tim Burton?
No, I'm talking about
early Tim Burton. I don't want to meet early Tim Burton when he was still doing the Batman movies.
Yeah. Oh, Batman. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's super early.
That's
Okay.
yeah.
What was it?
Shoot, if it'd be a director, I don't know. I would say, shoot, I'll go with Peter Jackson.
That's a good one.
I would ask him.
That's a good one.
I would go with Peter Jackson, and I'll ask him what's your thoughts when they actually pulled you in to do the bullshit of the Hobbit because of the bullshit that's happening?
You could
during
probably truthfully answer that now. Probably back.
Yeah,
he couldn't answer that
back.
truthfully.
And then I would ask him, how do you feel on like you were prepping for a Halo movie, and now there is a freaking Halo series that's actually doing something on like
No,
Paramount.
I didn't
now.
know that. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was.
I actually caught a little bit of it. It looks super good.
But then I'm hearing I get another bad reviews. I hear good reviews and I hear bad reviews. Why do I? Then was it like again? I think Chris just looks at bad fucking reviews because he's like he just keeps coming in here like, oh, the Halo has bad reviews, and I'm like, what? Like I'm hearing so many good reviews, and then I hear this like bullshit. I'm still trying to figure out what the fuck's up with the family thing, but I need to watch the show. But I saw on YouTube the pilot episode's on there for free.
Yeah,
it's an hour long.
I caught like 5 minutes of it when I was scrolling through Pluto. And I was like, oh, this is the Halo show. Why is it on Pluto? And Paramount has its own channel on Pluto. I was like, oh, fuck yeah. I might go watch it for free.
But yeah, like Peter Jackson, like right around when he made the King Kong movie, he had props and everything made up for freaking Halo. He was getting like ready. But then Microsoft pulled the plug.
I think that would have been a good time for him too, because he did King Kong right after Lord of the Rings, which was kind of an odd choice for him to do. But then doing another like a sci-fi epic instead, like switching it up from fantasy to sci-fi, I feel like that would really work for him.
You know? Yeah, like fantasy to an adventure, then to a freaking what's it called? Adventure thrower to a freaking like basically sci-fi.
Yeah,
cool.
I feel like fantasy and science fiction is pretty similar. I mean, like hence Star Wars, basically a blend.
Totally.
Yeah.
So
you just need to change up the surroundings.
Yeah, exactly. It's just a setting. It's kind of the only thing that's really different, and like the names and the characters, whatever. All the ice is the difference, basically.
Yeah, including his company does very good like design and graphics wise. For everything, so like it wouldn't be that crazy. Like look at King Kong 2005. That was pretty decent graphics for 2005 for a full motion gorilla.
It's not the movie is conflicting. I have conflicting views about that movie, but the graphics are cool. I think everyone does. I don't know. I don't know one person who doesn't have like conflicting thoughts about that movie. It's either like I don't know anyone who loves it or hates it. It's always like somewhere in the middle. I have like parts I love and parts that I hate basically. So I wouldn't say hate, but what are you cheering about? What the fuck just happened?
It's Steve, our friend Steve.
He's
watching the
podcast. I was very confused. Hi, Steve. Yeah. I just thought before we go on, I just want to answer my own question. I guess the only other celebrity, well, not the only one, but the two main celebrities I would want to meet is Bruce Campbell and Paul McCartney. Those are the two that I would really love to meet.
That'd be super dope.
There you go.
Yeah. King Kong, this song. Yeah. Yeah. I think those would be the two. I feel like Bruce Campbell is more feasible than Paul McCartney.
I mean, you never know. You might catch Paul McCartney in New York getting a coffee somewhere.
That's true. He does go in New York. That's true. I don't go in New York. He does. I haven't been to this city since 2019.
It might be like that one random trip. Josh is like, you know what? I'm gonna go to the fucking city just to say I've been to the city recently, and boom, you got Paul McCartney going into whatever local coffee shop he likes to go to.
That's true.
Hey man, you're coming up to New York. You're coming up to New York and everything. You're going to the city. You may have an occurrence with him, man. Or Keanu. And if we don't bribe you to come up here to us, the way Billy was doing last night, we may have to go down to you, and we all will have an interaction with somebody. Oh God, Jimmy's on.
They played DK Jungle Groove in the movie 0 out of 10. If they did that in fucking King Kong, the 2005 King Kong, I would have gave it a 10 out of 10. If fucking King Kong plays like Donkey Konga, and like it's like when he's when Ann's like performing for him, and then he just takes out the DK Funky Kongas, and then they have a whole stage performance. That movie would have went up 5 points, 10 out of 10.
5 points. Oh man.
Okay, we should move on. We've been in the BS.
We should, yeah.
So we are going to discuss the NeverEnding Story cartoon released in 1995. We're going to talk about the pilot, Tears of Sadness, if I'm not mistaken, and I'm going to have Jerry take this one away, if you could, sir.
So it starts up. We have his name's Bastian, right?
Bastian. It's not Sebastian.
Yeah,
it's just
Bastian.
Bastian. Yeah.
I thought they were saying Sebastian, but I'm like, no, I don't hear Sebastian. So
Yeah.
Bastian goes to the bookstore. He opens the NeverEnding Story, and because he feels the call from his fantasy world saying that something's in trouble, and he gets sucked into the book, reading Rainbow Style, and everybody he gets in, and everybody's in a panic and frenzy because people are turning to stone. So Bastian, I can't think of what the troll's name is. I'm just calling him Troll. They go exploring now, and they find some kind of cat bug creature, drinking from a river, and it gets turned to stone right when Troll is saying, oh, I'm so thirsty, I need a drink. And Bastian, it's a Trent to me, but he calls himself a troll.
Yeah, he does. He looks like he's like an ent. He's like a mini ent who's a troll, I guess.
Yeah, like it's.
And he stops him right in the nick of time before he turns to stone. He makes his way to the tiny people whose names I cannot pronounce, even though I heard them said like 100 times. And they found the fountain of life, and they see these giant assholes drilling holes in a mountain, releasing a strange liquid into the reservoir that feeds the water, nourishing everyone. Come to find out that the saddest creatures in all of Fantasia are just crying tears of utter disappointment and sorrow because of how ugly they look. And then it goes into another step from this evil sorceress who's like, I'm going to turn everyone to stone and rule Fantasia because I am the Wicked Witch of the West. And it segues further because the troll makes this concoction, I guess is the best way to put it, and it turns the ugly mummy people, who aren't even ugly. I think mummies are cool personally. And, they turn into Who Framed Roger Rabbit style cartoons, and they're just laughing, bouncing off the walls, very scratching, scratch and stretch fashion. And they're tears of laughter now, so they are now the happiest creatures, and it reverses the petrification.
Yeah, that's basically that.
Yeah, I think that's
I think that's it. I've
never even known the NeverEnding Story had a cartoon, so watching this, I'm like, I feel like I'm watching something that was on like late night Boomerang when they played stuff like from every cartoon era.
Okay. Let me give you a little insight on that. It's made by HBO in 1995.
Of course, HBO made it.
It was put on there. It was on HBO.
So why the fuck isn't it on HBO Max?
It didn't do good. It was one season.
I don't think anyone cared enough. I think it lasted 2 seasons.
Yeah,
that's actually a decent.
it really was one. I thought it was one. I kept on finding
actually no.
All right,
Actually, I think you're right. It says 2 years, one season. So, there's
it ran for 2 years. Holy shit!
Yeah.
Is it like crossing over into another year, or what was it?
Usually like a
Probably
season is
production
1
problem.
year. Yeah. I mean, this show, I was expecting it to be a lot worse, to be honest. I was expecting it to be a lot shittier. Yeah, I thought it
wasn't
was
bad.
good. Yeah. I thought it was pretty good
If
too.
I was a kid, I'd watch it. I mean,
yeah.
The troll kind of pissed me off because he reminded me of Snarf and
Yeah,
Orko.
it was really annoying.
He was pissing me off. I'm like, God, give me some fucking kerosene. I'm gonna kill this fucking sentient being. Turn him into charcoal.
Oh god, I was dreading him because me and Josh were like making fun of that character a lot when we first like looked at the photos and we're going deeper into this freaking movie, like this show. And I'm like, this is gonna be the worst thing. I even asked Josh, I'm like, do you remember if there was a tree creature in the movie? He's like, no, this thing doesn't exist.
This came out like during the sequel, so I think the third one just came out and Jack Black was in it, and I heard that one is terrible. The third one, the second one's okay. I've seen the second one. It's
There's more than one?
Decent. Yeah, there's more than one. There's 3
But
of
if
them.
you look it up,
I thought there was just
4.
one never.
Oh, there's 4? There's 4?
No, there's only 3. There's only 3.
Oh.
There's only 3. But for some reason, it says there's 4 of them.
No,
like,
the third one's absolute ass. I do want to watch it just because it looks so terrible. The second one's decent. It's not as good. It's not as good.
Totally watch the third one and during pick a month of just bad movies.
That would be cool. I like that theme.
God.
I like that theme. That would be a good month theme. We'll have to pick a month. Like, what's the shittiest month? I guess February, but that already happened.
We passed it already. We passed them all already, man.
We can do August because it's hot as hell and it sucks.
It's true. We could do
August. Right. Yeah, that works.
I loved this cartoon a lot. I was really surprised that this is actually kind of still coherent to the movie and everything. This is, I think it's kind of weird that, you're still going back to this fantasy world after you essentially watched the destruction and recreation of it, all with a god complex. But I was like, okay, maybe, this is going to be more kind of kid friendly.
Yeah, no, it was kid friendly. It was pretty cool.
It kind of gave me like an early, like a 90s, 90s Disney vibe. Or like an animation. For some reason, it got more like there was a what's it called? All dogs go to heaven movie vibe to me at the same time the animation.
Yeah, that's technically not Disney, but Don Bluth worked.
I know that.
Yeah.
I know that, but it gave me that vibe and other freaking Disney styled cartoons vibes from back then. Yeah, and I was like, this is not bad.
Yeah. I remember we were joking and you texted me. You sent an anime picture, and I thought it was a real.
I didn't even watch it. yet. I was like,
wait, okay. Is it a show or
I did not get this? It's a fan art. I said 3 times. That's what fan art.
You just were like, I didn't.
That's what you said. Get that saying.
You said I didn't watch.
No, I literally said I couldn't find.
You literally just
find
said that.
It. No, I was talking. Oh my god, you suck. You miscommunication.
That's what you just said.
No, I literally said I didn't. No, this is before.
You literally just said that.
I'm not going by the text. I literally said I meant it was for the end of the freaking cartoon. I was like, I sent that without watching the cartoon. I just was joking around.
I
found
understand that was a joke.
You and communication suck, man. You're bad. Like
you just said I didn't watch it like it was a fucking thing. So you doubled down and fucking.
I mentioned it like 3 times. We're doing this again because stupidity. I mentioned it 3 times doing texting is fan art. So if you're hanging on this for some stupid reason,
I know it was fan art.
I thought it was real the first time I saw it.
I know. I thought it was real too. I dug into it too.
You said you just didn't watch it.
It looked so real.
Why?
I was talking about the freaking short.
Oh, you didn't watch
We're talking about the short. I didn't watch the short yet, so I sent it to you. I didn't watch the short. And I was like, I said, like, can we watch this? I'm going off for joking. And then you just went, is this real? And I'm like, no, I think it's just fan art. And like, I'll dig into it. And you're like, oh, all right. And then I'm like, oh, sadly, it's not real. It's just fan art.
Yeah,
and
no,
like,
I understand.
Oh, all right.
I understand that. That's where I was at until you just said I didn't watch it. That's what.
And I'm like, we're on this topic of us. We're talking about this short. I'm like, well, yeah, I sent that before I got to watch this. And you're like, wow.
Sure. Matt just likes to confuse me. Like Matt likes to confuse me. And Matt likes to send images, and Matt likes to start me in the fucking middle of an anime when I don't know any of the fucking characters' names. That's what Matt likes to do. Matt likes to fucking throw me wrenches and fucking give me like I don't know. Give me it encrypted in like Russian or something. I gotta decipher it, I guess. But no, I
just like everything back in the past.
This would have worked. This would have worked as an anime, so that's why I thought, oh, this would be cool. You know, when you sent that.
Yeah, I was hoping. And then nothing.
I was like kind of looking for animation mistakes, but there wasn't really quite too many in this show. I didn't really notice any.
It was
mistake.
Pretty well put together. I thought it was going to be like, oh, we're going to see somebody have hair go from brown to blue on a random just flash of color.
That's what I was expecting. I was expecting it to be super cheap. And like I said, this is like after the heyday of the first one. Like the first one came out over a decade before this even was.
It was 84.
Released. Well, yeah, exactly. So, this came out 94, 95. So it's like after like the height of the popularity of the movie, really. I mean, they had the third one, which sucked and no one liked. And I don't know, though. I was trying to remember if the witch, like the main antagonist, was in any of the movies, and I don't really remember. Do you know if the witch was in any of the movies, Matt?
I haven't seen all of them. I saw the original back in like early years, man. I haven't seen this movie like since I was like baby. Like
long time.
Okay. Yeah,
like I'm like, oh.
Yeah, there's like a witch antagonist, and then the troll and little person mixes all the little gnomes potions just together, just randomly, and that's what saves the day at the end of the show and turns all the crying squid little baby monsters that dwell in a cave into like Jerry said, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, like cartoon characters. They kind of look like the shoe that Christopher Lloyd's character melts. Yeah, they kind of look like that.
I guess a dip.
And then they
become, what is it? The only thing
they become the happy.
I don't know. The one thing that's weird about it is like some of the shorter characters look like they made them a lot taller in this animated short.
Yeah.
Than actually when the movie is, because like the married couple that the gnomes, they're using the telescope, and they're like the kid is like about the same height to use the telescope and everything. And at the same time, when he does like the cranking, like they're like, oh, let's adjust this, and like the gnome had to crank it for him, even though the knob's in front of him. It's like little nip. He could have done that he could have done it himself, that kid. Yeah. Like in the movie, I get the movie. The gnome had to do the cranking because the kid could have fucking cracked the freaking thing in half because he's like, what is he, like 3 times the size, like almost 3 times the size of him? Like 2 times?
Yeah. Well, he shrinks. They give him Alice in Wonderland, like.
Yeah, I know. They shrink him.
They give him roofies.
To different sizes. Yeah, basically. Exactly. Well, I mean, they're still conscious, so I wouldn't really call it roofies. But
You're right. They give them fucking some kind of hallucinogen. I don't know.
Some mushrooms, basically. That's what
This is Alice in Wonderland bowl.
Some fungus, but yeah, I liked how the witches, like minions were like machines, like mechanical, so like they were just a position of what Fantasia is all about, like organic and fantasy, and kind of more, not as industrial. So,
I definitely liked how cutthroat the witch was, because when Bastian and the Ant gave her the option, like, you can just walk away or you can deal with this potion, she was like, well, I'm just gonna have to kill both of you. And I'm like, oh, okay. You said eliminate instead of kill. I'm like, Jesus Christ, this kind of took a turn. I thought there would be, some kind of altercation struggle. She went right for the kill shot. So I got a good laugh off that. I was like, okay, she's here to do one thing and one thing only.
Mm-hmm. No, I kind of did like that too. It wasn't like hiding behind a... What the fuck, Steve? Squirt, 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 sign me up. No! No, Steve, no! No, I did like you're saying, I did like how they made her more like straight to the point. There's no sugarcoating of like what her like deeds are gonna be like with this whole setup what she's planning to do. Like, I wonder how many times she came back in the series.
Yeah, I wonder
if she constant,
I hope she was
or
very
is she not?
prominent.
Yeah, I'm sure she comes back. I'm sure she comes back. I think she was in the sequel. I think she was in the second one, if I do remember. There was like a witch lady in the second one. In the second movie, I mean.
Gotcha. Because even before she like made her grand appearance, you could kind of tell the type of person she was by the fact that she was using essentially creatures with manic depression to hurt everyone else. Like, who sits in a children's cartoon? Who thinks like, you know what? These guys are pretty unhappy, and I bet I can use their sadness and weaponize it to hurt everybody else to get what I want.
That's true.
And that was, honestly, that made me think of the Joker, because I'm like, this is something really out of the box that you would never even consider. Like, yeah, I'm gonna use these fucking tentacle mummy people and harvest their tears and make everybody so sad and depressed that they just petrify and turn to stone.
Yeah, I didn't realize that this show was on YouTube until like after the fact. I already purchased the first episode, so I guess there's a bunch of episodes for free on YouTube if you want to check them out. I thought it was funny that the YouTube channel that I found it on was called Mateo's like Cartoon House or something like that.
Oh god!
Yeah, I saw that.
I thought he was making a stupid joke.
Does Matt secretly run a YouTube channel? Told us about?
Yeah. Why wouldn't you tell us that you had access to the show, Matt?
Oh no! Well, I looked up the witch. Finds out the witch was like actually inside. It's in the German novel from 1979. She's like the antagonist. That's in that, like, she's like doing like a major antagonist in that book. And then the 1990s sequel, not the 1990s sequel, the next chapter. She plays more of a bigger role.
Yeah,
in
so
it.
she's in the.
It looks
she's
like
in the sequel. Yeah, she's in the second one.
I'm not trying to pronounce her freaking name right now because I know I'm gonna like destroy it.
Baba Yaga.
The mistress of basically no.
Baba Yaga. That's what her name is. I don't know how
people
German it is,
like children.
Baba
Yes.
Yaga.
I don't think he's even don't know. But it's like the mistress of emptiness. So that's what we're gonna go with.
I
Make
tried
it
to.
easy.
I just tried to share the episode with the audience so they could watch it for free, but I don't know.
Oh my god!
There you go. You want to watch what we're talking about? There it is.
Rule 34, Mateo. No.
No.
That's a different channel that
Not with this.
that Matt doesn't talk about here. He saves that. For
Not this.
chat.
That's
Okay.
ran by our friend Billy.
should we get into ratings and final thoughts? What do you guys think of the cartoon?
I definitely enjoyed the cartoon a lot. I would give it a very solid 8.5. I'm gonna go ahead and throw it a 9. Just considering like how much further after the movie it was, and I was like, oh, this really wasn't bad. I couldn't find one bad thing outside of the troll who reminded me of Snarf and Orko. I just wanted to choke the living shit out of him. But everything else was just really good. You had a villain who was very cunning and intelligent to use another creature's sadness as a means to hurt other people. And the only other person who I would even think that would do something like that is a comic book villain. And even when she was given the choice to, you can walk away or you can deal with this, whatever, right here. Because they were bluffing. They didn't know what it was going to do either. It could have been a fucking nuke for all they knew. Which I guess in turn it was, because they turned the squid mummy people turned into Who Framed Roger Rabbit style cartoons, which is a walking nuke in itself.
True.
And even the resolution, it still held very strong pace. It was, Bastian gave credit where credit was due for the person who really saved the day. And he even had consequences dealt with for stealing somebody's potions. So he was like, okay, this was, I probably watch this even as an adult right now. So I'm going to give it a solid 9 out of 10. Highly recommended.
That's super high. I'm not gonna go that high.
Yeah.
Just because I only see this one episode. I have to see more to really give it a higher rating like that. Right now, I'd probably give it a 6. It's definitely a lot better than I thought it would be. I thought it was gonna be absolute ass. I want to see an episode with Atreyu in it. I think that would solidify. If they make that character dignified or not, actually a decent character, I think that would solidify how much I like the show. But no, for a pilot, I think it was pretty good and it actually fit the story and the world really, really well. And I thought the shots when Falkor was flying through the vast setting and everything, I thought that was pretty cool. I liked the perspective shots. It looked like it was you're flying with the characters, and I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, very, very good, solid animation with that.
The only thing I want to add,
if I can share comments.
Well, go ahead. Well, let me finish. The only thing I want to add is the only thing I want to add is that Atreyu, I guess in the book that Matt was referring to, is originally green. He has green skin and purple hair. And in the intro, you do see Atreyu, and he has that skin color and purple hair in the intro.
Well, I didn't mention Atreyu. I didn't mention Atreyu.
No, I'm talking about the book. You mentioned the book. I'm talking about Atreyu.
Oh,
in the book,
I probably missed that.
You said
because I'm like
in the book.
I heard you
mentioned
say
his
Matt.
name.
You said Matt said,
and I'm the one with the communication problems. Okay, Matt. Anyway, Matt mentions
you just
the
said
book.
Matt just mentioned
Matt
Atreyu.
mentions the book. That's what I said. And Atreyu in the book has green skin and purple hair. That's what I'm saying. Okay. All right, Matt. Now the floor is yours. 6 out of 10. I fucking hate you.
You don't even walk away from us. I love doing this, but at the same time, I really did hear him say that. But No, I would go with an 8. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna go with an 8. I agree with a lot of what Jerry said with his rating and everything, but I just love the animation. Was like brought me back and made me like, oh, I kind of miss this somewhat of animation, and I just and like that the voice acting wasn't bad. It wasn't horrible. I enjoyed it too, and I'm with him with the troll, man. I just wanted to smack the shit out of that troll. So I want to chop him up into fucking firewood because I was just so annoyed that like I'm gonna mix concoctions of these potions and we're gonna get something out of this thing. And he makes a fucking saving thing. He makes a saving potion with just grabbing random fucking potions that could have been toxic to the fucking world. And like, we're gonna do this, Bastian. And there's and he saves the fucking thing.
What was your
I
rating?
want to piggyback off the animation also reminded me of Dragon Tales.
Oh, really?
It like in the very beginning, I was like, oh, this reminds me of Dragon Tales. So it took me back to a very nostalgic place watching Dragon Tales after school.
The human kid looked like Dragon Tail kids. Like I could see that.
Yeah.
Bastian looked like he could have been part of that show. Wait, what was your number rating, Matt?
I said an 8.
Oh, an 8? Okay.
I give it an 8. I'm not gonna go any farther. I'm not gonna go any farther because I'm like I know where I'm gonna get out of this. It's gonna stay probably almost the whole like the same throughout maybe the whole series. I mean, may get some bad stories at some point, but at the end of the day, it's gonna be just a solid 8.
Just this one.
I
guess that's odd.
I know. So like it's just like it's what's it called? But like
Stop.
the part I thought they're gonna change like the style of the lucky dragon. For a little bit I thought they're gonna change him up with like the way he talked. But like when he started talking, he's just like, yeah, here we go. He's just like right in the movie. And he's slow and deep voice talking, and I'm just like, yep. They kept it kind of true with it.
Perfect.
Yeah, Falkor has the biggest tail. Yeah, I actually want to watch more. I thought this was going to be really terrible.
What's wrong with this?
I thought this was really. I'm just ignoring the comments because it's just nonsense.
Hey man, that's how they are.
No, I do. I actually thought this show was going to be a lot worse, so I was kind of anticipating all of us kind of like ripping this to shreds. But it was a lot more enjoyable than I thought it was going to be. I was expecting it to be like a 3, like a really just terrible.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be awful.
I was expecting it to be like, okay, this was an interesting short, but I just finding redeeming qualities. But it surprised me, and I'm glad because I was like, oh, this is like if I'm ever like around like my young nieces and nephews, I'd be like, here, we're gonna put on the NeverEnding Story Cartoon, and you're gonna watch this.
That'd be cool. Yeah, I actually want to watch more. And there's like they have a bunch of episodes on YouTube, so you could find like basically the whole series. I think. Yeah, they have 25 episodes.
Did they use the song?
No, yeah, that's what I wanted to get into. They didn't.
I'm trying to remember.
They didn't have the song for the intro music. They didn't use the song. That was kind of bullshit.
Why?
I don't know.
Yeah. So they lose a point. It's an 8 now. This is not a 9. They forgot to use
7. It's a 7.
That was kind of shitty. Yeah,
that song is iconic.
That song is a fucking banger, which we'll get into like for when we actually talk about the movie. Well, I was so surprised that they didn't have that song for like the intro theme. Like they did not have the song for the intro theme. I was super surprised that whole time. I mean the music. I gotta say the orchestral stuff that was pretty good.
NeverEnding Story.
No, I thought the orchestral stuff was good throughout the show, though. I thought that was actually redeemable. But yeah, they didn't have the theme, which is kind of weird.
Steve, we're not at the death of the horse yet. We're not in the movie.
The boy was hungry.
The boy was hungry.
Oh yeah, yeah, we'll get into that. But all right,
I'm not in the movie yet.
I guess I'm done. So Matt, you want to take away the movie?
Oh God. So basically, so the movie starts off with the young Sebastian is being bullied. He's trying to escape from being bullied, so he ends up running into after being thrown into the trash. He ran into a bookstore where he meets a bookkeeper, where basically explains to him that best way to escape from problems basically is to basically read a book. And it looks like Sebastian just stole the NeverEnding Story book and just ran away, went home, or like it just felt like it. And continually started reading the NeverEnding Story and finds out the story is continuing where the world is slowly turning into nothing and will start to disintegrate in a way. So they had to find out where and how to save the world because their queen is slowly dying at the same time from some kind of disease. So they bring in a Thanu. How do I pronounce that name properly, Josh?
What name?
I don't want to butcher it.
Atreyu?
Atreyu, that's it. Atreyu. Gets summoned because supposedly he is this mighty warrior. Well, mighty warrior that's supposed to help out. He's from this tribe that hunts the purple buffalo, and he's well known. And he gets disrespected quickly because he is a child. But once he explains more and gets to says, "I'm just gonna leave your asses," he dips out, and they accept him. They dips out on his adventure and goes on forth trying to find, I believe, the queen and help her get through what she's going through and save the day. As he continues on forth, he keeps going through the swamp of sadness where we lose the horse. We meet our famous turtle, that's allergic to young people.
That looks like E.T.
And gives it. It looks what the hell, but whatever. Then later on, including at the same time, he's being hunted by this wolf that wants basically everything to end in sorts. Then he keeps on going on, and he's about to be in his own little pit of despair where he's basically, I think, giving up because he has no real. He has to travel 10,000 miles to the queen, and it's not the turtle pulp. Jerry and Jimmy, it's not the turtle pulp.
I mean, kind of.
And yeah, he kind of is, but Josh, you don't know what the turtle pulp is, though.
Okay. I beat that game. I beat that game. I beat the Turtle Pope game. It's a pretty good game. Anyway, go ahead, man.
Elden Ring is the turtle pope. Josh beat Elden Ring. It looks like, but so as he's falling into his own into the swamp of sadness, the lucky dragon comes around. I'm gonna butcher names because I'm
Falkor.
Falkor. It comes and swoops him up and takes him back to his own little place where he slumbers, and he's like, "Well, we're only 9,989 miles into your adventure. You still got 11 miles to go." And so he ends up thanking Falco about bringing him that many miles into his adventure, making it shorter to travel and making it actually more he can succeed and then fail. And he ends up meeting the gnome family that helps him get closer to the destination because they are basically right next door, and they can just send him to the place where he has to go to. And basically, it's an adventure of just saving a fucking world. And it ends up blowing up in the midst and recreating itself at the end. And but it's kind of neat because there's a connection with the book to the reader. So the reader doesn't 100%. So Bastian does not 100% understand how it's connecting him to the world because he can yell. The characters can hear him. He can the characters can sense him while he's reading and bring him into the book. That's what happens later at the end of the movie with, I believe, the queen. I believe she's the queen. She summons him into the book to help out at some point, I believe, and finish off the rest of the movie of like what's going on with this, with the world, with the universe being destroyed and rebirthed. And yeah, that's the movie. Oh yeah, there is that one chamber that is actually where if you go into it, you have to fight the other side of you. Beforehand, Atreyu had to go to. He has to fight his other side. If you're a nice person, you're actually an ugly, mean person that doesn't want us to do any good to anybody. And if you're smart, you're stupid. It's just basically the opposite of what you are in real life. And he had to fight the freaking the wolf at the end before he got to the queen. And that was kind of neat, but at the same time, I think it was too quick. How do you guys think of this movie? Or have to add it to what I just explained?
What? So like overarching thoughts of the movie, or like?
Yeah, if you have any overall arcing thoughts, or did I miss something in the next?
No, I think you got most of it. I don't know. We'll let Jerry talk because he looks like he's pondering something. So go ahead.
Go ahead, Jerry.
First off, I fucking hate the intro to this movie because those asshole kids and all those adults should have been like, "Hey, fuckers, leave him alone," and should have chased them down and whipped their asses. Number two, fucking Bastian is who the fuck just like, okay, I'm gonna skip class to go read some fucking mystic ass book when there's a math test that I need to study for because my dad's pissed off that I'm fucking failing. And I felt for the dad because he was in this damn school all day and all night reading a book when he should have been reading those fucking math questions. And that just pissed me off so much. I'm like, you son of a. I mean, he's all sad and shit over his mom dying.
Yeah, his mom just died.
I'm like, okay, I get it. You know, his mom's dead, so he's kind of coping. But his dad's obviously a single parent now, so he's put all this extra stress on his dad. Like, oh God, where's my son? He hasn't been to school all day. He didn't fucking take a math test. I don't know if he's alive. I don't know if he's dead. I don't know if he's been run over. He just pissed that intro pissed me off so much. I almost quit the movie.
Oh my God. I don't know. I thought the dad's kind of a dickhead in the beginning of the movie. Just because, like, his mom just died, and he's just like, get over it, son. Fuck you, you know?
I mean, the dad was definitely not a saint, but I'm like, okay, you know, he's a single parent, so he's got a lot of weight he's got to start bearing now. But he's in a fucking suit and tie, so he's obviously some kind of banker.
Oh, yeah, he's working. He's definitely making money. The first time I watched this recently, I did a second viewing, which I was discussing earlier. But, the first time I viewed it, I was just so distracted how much of a dick and like unsentimental the dad was towards his son that his mom died. Like he wouldn't even like sit down and talk to him about it. He's just like, get over it, son. You know, that I noticed.
Shopkeep. I want to know what was up with the shopkeep because he knew what the fuck this book was. And here comes this little 10-year-old like, I have 187 books, and he starts naming off all these books, and he's like, oh. He's treating him like he's the one. He's treating him like Keanu Reeves in The Matrix. He's like, yeah, I'm going to stealthily like entice the child with this book and make him confront all this hidden trauma that he's got going on. And that's just the beginning. Everything outside of that, I was like, this is fucking cool because I'm watching a story in a story. And I was like, okay, this is a little bit like Inception, and I liked Inception a lot. I thought Atreyu was super interesting because to me, he represented everything that Bastian wanted to be, you know, confident, strong, you know, very steadfast in his beliefs. But, you know, as the story progressed, we saw, you know, when they got to the Swamp of Sadness and the horse fucking died. I'm like, why are you crying? The horse fucking dying is its own fault. Don't be sad over a horse dying. But I guess, you know,
That's his
that
buddy.
was my
That's
pet
his,
peeve.
that's his buddy.
of this
But
movie.
I
Literally, that was one of my
understand
pet peeves.
Atreyu being sad because that's his horse. That's that's his buddy. That's his friend. But I'm like,
Yeah.
That's like
Bastian,
having your
this
dog
is a
die in
fucking
front of you.
horse. So I guess he was using it as a metaphor to his mother passing and him still trying to hold on to the ideology that my mom's not dead, she's gonna come back at any time, and I'm just gonna keep holding on to belief, which I guess we all do
Are you
with
calling his mom a
a
horse?
loved one, because horses are real trusting, Matt, you fucking asshole. But I outside of the beginning, I love everything about this movie. The turtle, I thought the turtle was weird because he kept referencing like we.
Wow.
He kept referencing we like there was somebody else there, but he's been by himself for so long. He developed that delusion like he was fucking Tom Hanks on Castaway. So he was like, Wilson! And he's like, he's obviously the imaginary friend in his hand and his head. And then he just keeps telling the kid, like, I don't care what happens, so long as we're fine. And, Atreyu's like, there is no we. It's only you. And, I guess that was supposed to, get Atreyu like, okay, there's obviously still something more going on than the nothing that's happening that's killing all the fantastic creatures. And then he meets fucking Falkor, and right when he's about to be killed by the werewolf from Silver Bullet, which I thought was kind of weird. I'm like, how does everything why a werewolf? I mean, don't get me wrong, it was cool, but I was like, I don't too much care for it personally. I don't think it was bad. I was like, that's just not a good fit in the story to me. It was everything else was just great flow because Atreyu is, the persona to me, he's the personification of Bastian, seeing all of these troubles that he has. Like when he first got, into the story, he was basically ridiculed and almost written off. And he was like, well, fine. If you're going to write me off, I'm going to write y'all off. See, this isn't my world to save. It's yours. And then even at the very end, when he was going to the Sphinx, which I think is weird that the Sphinx had like boob
giant tits
with areola and nip. I'm like, this is a children's movie. Cover those tatas.
It's 1984.
This is an
1984.
80s
Different years. Different.
I was like, Jesus fuck. But it
nip slips are allowed.
But I thought Atreyu was definitely I know Bastian was like supposed to be the star, but honestly, if they would have just took out the whole this is a story in a book and just gave me Atreyu is being summoned to another world to save it, I thought that would have been another great movie by itself, because I was more involved with Atreyu than Bastian, because I'm like, he's just a little fucking shit. He doesn't know how to talk to adults. The one person he could kind of talk to who might have been understanding, he fucking robbed him of a book, and books at the time were precious because everybody was printing. And then he's like, I'll bring your book back later, mister. Sorry. I'm like, you fucking penis whacker. I don't hate the movie, but just
you sound like you
annoyed the hell out of me.
There is a lot. If you like, I'm with Jerry. If you take a lot out of if you literally take the real world out of this movie, it would have been maybe even better than it actually is, because you're just getting the straightforward story, and it wouldn't have any confusion intertwined, because the kid is actually interacting with the book, and you're like with the turtle thing. We don't the turtle thing is we, And like, what do you mean we? I mean, like we, like it's just you, like Jerry's saying, like I thought you were talking about the fucking Bastian. He knows Bastian's reading the fucking book. That's what I thought he was talking about for a second. He's like, no, I've been here by myself for so long.
Oh yeah.
I became more attached to just talking to myself. And I'm like, I'm allergic to the young. I'm like, what the fuck? But I want to talk about the turtle even more. What?
I think he's just allergic to humans, but go ahead. Either way.
Yeah.
I think so too. But like, I kind of got interested with the turtle because like the turtle was like, he was like ready for death. He was the one thing that said, yo, if I die, I die. I've been here for thousands of years. It's time for me to go. It's time for me to fucking go. So like, I kind of want to like wonder what this turtle has witnessed over his years, or he just been sunk in that swamp for so many years that he just doesn't care either.
Yeah, wouldn't you want to die if you're sunk in a swamp for thousands of years? I think I would want to die at that point.
Well, what if he wasn't sunk too?
Yeah.
But like, what if actually he's the reason why the swamp is like the sadness of swamp? What if it's him? What if it was him, his own little aura that he produces of himself and all that stuff infected the swamp to be that way? And do that he never moved in those many years. Well, it's just been like toxic.
It could have been like the tears of sadness, since he was just so alone the whole time. That's what made the sadness so sad. Could have been kind of like the same thing.
He was like, oh, he could have had a flock of giant turtles, and like he could have been like roaming with them, and then he accidentally did that one turn where he forgot everybody, like left everybody in an accident, and he got lost, and he's like, well, I'm settling here now, and just sunk in. And just turn everything into shit.
I guess I want to talk about one thing that I just loved to pieces in the movie. Because, Josh, I didn't hate the movie. It was just certain things annoyed the hell out of me because I'm like, okay, real world in 1984, if some kids were chasing another kid, an adult would be like, hey, get the fuck over here.
Yeah, no. Yeah, that part. I don't know. I think it could have been kind of went either way because it kind of looks like a metropolitan city. Like, say that happened in New York City.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone would have fucking done anything. I think they would have just let him go. So, like, I don't know. I don't know if people would stop it or not, you know? So, like, I kind of give that a pass. I feel like if that happened in New York, no one would give a shit, you know? So, those people are assholes. You know? I don't know.
Nice. That could be our...
One thing that I thought was absolutely perfect was the initial transitions that they did when Atreyu and I can't pronounce the horse's name because it's just so funny sounding.
Artax.
Okay. When Atreyu and Artax were just like on the journey to the Swamp of Sadness, and you just see like the landscape fade in and him fade out. And they keep playing the song.
Yeah.
And then it goes from like, you know, a close up to like a fucking wide pan. I'm like, yes. And it's got that sunset and everything. I'm like, this is fucking dope. And this is well, at times, you know, it was a kid actor riding the horse. I was like, this kid's fucking dope. He's riding this horse like nobody's business. And then even like when he was, you know, after Atrex, you know, got absorbed into the Swamp of Sadness, and he's still just kind of like trudging through the mud. I'm like, this is still fucking perfect because it's switching from like him struggling to his face just be like, you know, he's tired, he's battle worn from getting to the fucking turtle who shot him down and was being, you know, kind of a prick, and he was like, you know what, I'm kind of done because he just lost his friend. And he was like, I don't know if I can keep going. And then Falkor comes in and saves him before the wolf gets him. And then even then I was like, oh, what the fuck is that? I thought it was a pink earthworm, but it was a dragon, a luck dragon. And then for me, one of my favorite scenes, and of course this is everybody's, is when Atreyu and Bastian are riding Falkor and they're just doing... yeah, and they're just all the landscapes. That's always what sticks out is the writing of Falkor through all the landscapes. Because I'm like, this is so beautiful. Because you're doing the sky shot, and then you're going through like mountains, the Grand Canyon, valleys, city, whatever. I'm like, this is fucking dope. And then the kid who played Atreyu deserves not one, but 2 Oscars. Because I know his back was tired from carrying that whole movie.
Well, yeah, let's talk about his back for a second. So apparently during the shoot, like early on in the shoot, I think actually before they even shot, it was like there was a riding incident. He was riding the Artex horse, and the horse fell on him, and he like broke his back. Apparently,
Oh shit!
And he had to get like
What?
screws. No.
I thought you were just joking.
And he had to get like
Oh
screws.
God.
And
I thought you were just joking. They
and
went
his
Jerry
back.
shit.
No, it's just a great segue. He had to get screws in his back and like I guess like heal. I don't know forever how long, but apparently I don't know how factual true that is, but that's what I heard when I was trying to do research for this movie. And there's not like too much behind the scenes footage I noticed that I could find from this movie because just like the animatronics and the landscapes and everything, like it's all practical stuff. So like this is all stuff I want to like see how they made the movie. And I couldn't really find too much. Like I would love to see a commentary or watch like a behind the scenes documentary or whatever.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen too much. But apparently there was that incident, and I guess his name is Noah. I think it's Noah. Noah something. The actor who played what's his name? I already forget his name. Atreyu.
Yeah.
Atreyu.
Oh
God.
Yeah, it's
that's
Noah
fucking
something.
Insane.
And
I never would have guessed.
Yeah, I guess there's another incident where once he stabs that dog thing that you were talking about, the werewolf that you say, I guess like the animatronic almost like basically like when it fell on him, like it crushed him and he couldn't like breathe for a second. It almost like one of the claws almost scratched his eye out. So like it was just like back in the 80s, they probably had like less safety regulations than they do today. So that kid went through hell.
What the fuck?
Yeah. I want to say with Jerry and his criticisms about the wolf thing, I don't have any really problem with the wolf. I mean, I don't know. I thought it was a cool looking design. I thought the puppet work was pretty cool. I mean, I guess the nothing being personified.
I kind of want to see more.
I don't know.
I want to see more than just the head and the chest. And every time we really see him was more of a dark.
They show him when they have a fight.
Yeah.
I think it works.
Well, like I want to see like.
I think it works better that you see less of him because he's like this mysterious dark presence, and then you finally get.
Yeah, it's like Jaws,
and then he comes at it. Yeah, exactly, 100%. That's exactly what I was gonna say. It's like Jaws. The less you see, the more you get out of it. So, well,
like I was expecting like more of like a confronting thing at the end of him just being like, "I'm in this cave. You only see my face. We will talk." And then once he says, "I'm Atreyu," and have him. Like, or like, I want him to be like slowly starting to creep out more, like a little bit more, like getting more like intense with his actions.
I guess,
and then just more like talking and just like Atreyu's like, "It's me, I'm Atreyu," and the thing just shoots up like a fucking rocket, breaks through the fucking wall and all that shit. And
that was cool.
Like, that is really hasty.
Yeah, I mean, that's how a predator would react, I guess. It is a wild animal.
Talking like a rocket.
I mean, like I thought the connection was kind of fairly all right. I thought it was cool. Like the Native Americans obviously had the run-ins with wild wolves, so that would probably be like the number one villain that they would face. So I thought that kind of worked.
My mind skipped right over that connection and was like, "This is from the Silver Bullet."
I mean, that came out around the
eyes.
Oh,
I'm like,
man.
Stephen King, the Cujo, Silver Bullet, insert other canine animal.
The Beast.
The other point I wanted to go back to when the dad is talking to Bastian about like his mom dying. He doesn't seem like he's scared. He's like, "Get over it, son. Your your mom's dead, basically. It's like the tone he's portraying. In the middle of that conversation, I didn't notice this the first time. The second time I was watching, I was like, what the fuck is the dad doing? He was cracking raw eggs, putting them in a blender, and then drinking it raw. That's what he was doing when he was having that conversation. Yes, that's what
I noticed him like fiddling with a blender. I'm like, is he making like a smoothie or something?
No, he's cracking raw eggs and then he's just blending it for like 3 seconds, and then he starts drinking raw eggs like fucking Rocky. And at first I was so like distracted by like how much of a dick the dad was, like how like inconsiderate he was being about like his son's emotions about his mom's passing. Obviously that's going to be traumatic for any kid or anyone. And like he's just drinking raw eggs. So when he's talking about it, it's just like, yeah, be as raw as me, son. Drink raw eggs. Don't care about your mother's passing. That's kind of like the vibe.
Yeah, be raw as me, son.
I just want to segue. Raw as me. Look, death is something very serious. No matter what stage of life you're in, and how the dad treated it, he was very. He either didn't care too much about the mom or he killed her. Because he was very, I think very He just was like, son, you got to focus on school. You got to get your grades up. Your teacher told me you were absent and you didn't do your homework.
Your mother was holding you back.
He was basically saying like, what would your mother think if she was still here and she saw you failing? And I'm like,
horses,
fucking prick. That's not how you deal with death to a child. This is traumatic.
Yeah. Oh, exactly.
Your mother's holding your back. I got rid of her for a reason.
By that fact. I agree with Steve. He was good at his gains. I guess he's like, maybe he's so traumatized that he's like, I just gotta go to the gym, just work out all the time. I gotta get my eggs intake in, So maybe that's what he's doing. He's just trying to becoming the next bodybuilder or something. He's just like, get hard like me, son. We're gonna go to the gym.
Stogies right here, lined up and ready to go.
And I gotta agree with Steve again when he said, Steve said, don't diss the horse, and I gotta agree with him. Like that's like his companion. That's probably his like only friend he has. That's like his Chewie to his Han Solo. To Atreyu's Han Solo.
The thing is, we're not dissing the horse. We're dissing Bastian for being a bitch.
Oh, for crying? when he was crying over the horse, that was pretty ridiculous. All the real world stuff.
That was bogus.
It was.
I thought
it really was. There's no need for the horse. They have Atreyu. For Atreyu to cry is fine.
Right.
Bastian to be like, oh my god, my 5 seconds of reading.
Don't start the name calling.
I understand.
Now he's going through 5 stages of grief.
I understand now. Okay, I thought you were talking about Atreyu. So no, okay.
No. I'm talking about Bastian.
No,
Bastian.
Bastian has no need to cry. Bastian's reactions to all this story is just pointless. At some point, because it feels like he doesn't really know what's happening, and he just doesn't know how to react to half the time.
No,
and he's just like, when he starts, like, he screams, and he's just like, the turtle, and everyone's like, oh shit, they heard me. Why did I even scream? What did I do? Like, he didn't even need to scream at that point.
I do agree with Bastian's reactions are so over the top that they're hilarious. And that's what I love about it. It's so funny that I'm just starting to laugh. It's so lame that it's hilarious. And I think that's super. I find it like it does a complete 180. It's just so super stupid that it becomes great again. It's just like so hilarious. So that's why I find it. I actually like those scenes because they're so funny to me. I could understand.
I was just like, get back to the movie. Get back to the movie. Just get back.
I understand your guys' perspective, to cut that stuff out, but it was.
It's like watching something. It's like watching like there's like TV shows and like there's something is super interesting is happening. It's like, I'm breaking news over here. We're gonna sidetrack you with this bullshit over here for 5 seconds. Old lady eating us whatever this is,
Eating a
and back to you
sandwich.
again. It's just like just for some bullshit.
Yeah, no, definitely the
Or it's like if you're awake at like 12 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the morning, you get this is a quick test. And you're watching some kind of fucking show or something. This is a quick intermission test because we're trying to make sure you get these warnings.
Definitely my favorite scene that Bastian had was at like the very end when Atreyu makes it to the Empress as like the shit's collapsing. And so they're basically talking and saying the reader has all the power here, but he just doesn't know what to do with it. And he's like, what do they mean? Does this involve me? Am I supposed to do something? And then what really stuck with me was the Empress was basically breaking the third wall and talking to Atreus and was like, you have the power to give me a name and you've already chosen it. You just have to say it. And then he just fucking cracks open the window. I don't even understand the name that he yelled.
Yeah, I don't understand.
Because, the sound effects just kind of drowned it out. But I'm like, okay, this is obviously him confronting his mother's death because the name he chose for the queen was his mom. Because he was just red in the face, tears down his eyes, emotionally exhausted. And I'm like, yes, this is, if they're trying to use this as a way for a child to go through grief and, finally learn that, it's okay for somebody to be gone, but you can always cherish them in your own way. Whether it be having, like a plant named after them, a stuffed teddy, favorite, time of the year, whatever, just that small little token that always keeps them alive to you in your own special way. And for him, it was naming the Empress after his mother, who I guess, I wish they would have explained more about the Empress because I don't know what point she really served outside of being the center of the universe. But I guess, when you're a kid, mom is everything. So it does make sense that way. But I just wanted a little more context.
Yeah, she was almost like the MacGuffin. Like she basically was what they're trying to save at the end of the film. It was just like a goal on top of the main goal. It was just like an added benefit, I guess. And she was the only one who had the wisdom to tell Bastian or whatever to say her name. And it's like when Jerry was saying, she's breaking the fourth wall and looking directly at the audience. And it's kind of awkward, but it's so awkward that it becomes funny. And then it's like, I don't know. I kind of love it at the same time. But
that part definitely made me laugh. I was just cracking up.
Like when
say my name. And she's like crying really at the screen.
I know.
Like, her face, she's just staring at you. And okay.
Yeah, then I'm like
oh, go ahead, Matt. Go.
The Bastian, I want to jump back to the Bastian window thing. When that happened, I'm just like, why? Why are we going just right to the window? Everyone's just going to be like, what the fuck is this kid yelling about? What is happening? Does he not know there's a storm happening outside?
I think the nothing was kind of coming to the real universe for some reason, and he was just yelling at the nothing. He got so amped up. I guess that's how I interpret it. Who the fuck knows? But anyway, when he screams his mom's name, you don't even know what the fuck he says. It's like, what?
Yeah.
What is this? What's the name?
No.
He said
I didn't even know you said the name. I just thought he just yelled in there, suspense.
I had to rewind
like,
it
saved
and put
the
the
world.
subtitles on to know what the fuck he actually said.
What is the name?
Do you want to know his mom's name?
Okay.
Is it Martha?
No, it's pretty. It starts with M though. It's Moonchild, and I'm like, what the fuck kind of name is that?
Kiss. His mom is named fucking Kiss.
I guess he was some hippie. Where are you going? All right, fine, Matt.
So Kiss managed to ruin another movie.
Yeah, I don't think it ruins the movie. I think it.
What? No, Kiss is Star Child.
Moon Child.
This
The
is
moon's
Star
a fucking
Child,
star
not
when you're far enough away.
Oh my god, you guys really like the cartoon a lot more than this. It seems like that's kind of the vibe.
No, I
I-
love this movie. I like it's fantastic. I just think Moonchild, whoever came up with that name,
Whoever said,
I don't know.
Paycheck.
That's some
No,
hippie dippy shit,
That's
man.
what I was thinking too. I was like, he sounds like a hippie from like the '60s, and maybe I was like, oh, maybe she was Native American. Maybe that's a tie-in. But who the fuck knows? She was on his.
No.
She's not.
That's why, like, probably the father is just more strict with him. He's like, she was the more laid back parent. He's
Yeah.
like, he
No,
needs
that's the vibe
strictness
I
in
got.
his lifestyle,
Yeah.
and be like, yo, I have to be more like, shit is real. It's not hippy dippy. I'm gonna run in the flower patch shit. It's
I
not
guess-
that all the time, kid.
There's a lot of big differences between the book and the movie. I guess in the book, it made me want to read the book. Now I'm actually kind of interested in reading the book.
I'm
But
very curious about the book.
Yeah, what's the
Mhm.
difference? I guess the author of the book hated this movie, like absolutely despised it. Just
Really?
because, yeah, I don't really understand it. But it's just like
I wonder
stupid, like it's just
why.
like, I guess he wasn't happy about the sphinxes having giant tits. He was like, oh, this is for kids. Why do you have big old bitties on these fucking sphinxes? I guess that was the point. And then like, I don't know. It's obviously going to be like interpreted a different way. It has to be condensed for a movie. So I think he was just too like involved with his whole story. Had to be exactly what he wrote, and it's like that's not feasible for a feature film. So yeah, there's that. Well, I forgot my point. What I was going to say. what was I? What were we talking about? Oh man. Well, anyway, I could get into.
We're talking about the mom's name for a
Oh,
point.
okay.
That was...
Yeah. So there's a lot of. Oh, that's the point I was going to make. So I guess in the book, the dad was actually grieving the mom as well as Bastian. I guess his name is Sebastian. I guess Bastian's just short for it. I think that's what it is. But I guess in the book, the dad is grieving as well as Sebastian, and also I guess Fantasia. In the movie, it's called Fantasia in the movie. In the book, it's called Fantastica. In the book, I don't know. It's just stupid little change.
I like
Why would
Fantasia
you-
better.
I do too. Fantastica is just too much syllables.
That sounds like some kind of off-brand Fanta.
Yeah, I don't like it either.
Yeah.
Fantastica. Do you want the
No,
Fantastica?
Yeah,
it
no, I
makes
know.
me feel like some creepy old dude in a trench coat is gonna sell me magic.
I noticed.
I thought that was gonna go somewhere else for a
I
second.
noticed in the in Bastian's room, like he has a picture of his mom on the wall, and then the Native American. So it's like, oh, that probably is a big tie-in to, why he interpreted himself as Atreyu, the Native American kid. I don't know.
Like, I
Go ahead, Matt.
Like, I don't know, when you bring up, like, we keep bringing up like the Native American and thing, and I'm like, if he is if his mom was Native American, why don't we just use the Atreyu character, the actor, to be Bastian, and then because he doesn't look at the kid just looks too white. And my
one?
sorts.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, we don't know. I'm just interpreting.
Yeah, but I'm just saying,
don't-
if
you
it
don't fucking
was,
Yeah, I
I'm
do
like, if
agree
that
with
was a
Josh. There's
tie-in
a lot
to
of
it.
Native American tie-ins, so who knows? It might be one of
there
those
is.
star-crossed, love things.
Yeah, it could have just been something he
Dancing with
admired.
wolves.
It could have just been something he admired or looked up to. It doesn't actually mean he's Native American or whatever. It's just
No,
one
I'm
way
just saying, if
interpret
we
it.
keep trying to do tie-ins to this thing, it's
No, I mean, yeah. I mean, Atreyu doesn't. I don't even know if the actor who plays Atreyu looks really Native American himself. I mean, he's kind of tan, but maybe. Yeah,
Well, Italian.
yeah, that's true. And then,
that's jet black hair.
that's what I was thinking. If this movie was made today and they don't get a Native American boy to play Atreyu or whatever, I feel like people would have such a fit about it, where it would be so unnecessarily
Oh,
so
yeah.
that who cares, at that point, as long as he's serving the purpose of the role and actually is not making fun of the culture, I think I think that's fine. And that's what an actor is. They're playing something that they're not, but
True.
whatever. That's a whole other conversation. So I have one thing I'm going to blow your guys' minds with. So I'm going to save that for, fuck it. I'll just show you guys now. Okay, so I have a screenshot here.
Okay.
And there's some characters you guys are going to recognize. Let me just find the picture before I just pull it up.
Were these characters from the Dark Crystal? Because some of the animatronics reminded me of that.
I think
Yeah.
no, they're not. But I think I think Jim Henson did the puppetry for the characters in this movie. So I think it was Jim Henson Studios who did it, and it makes sense, especially Falkor. It's so like extreme and intricate. It actually Falkor looks super fucking good. Like it really definitely holds up today.
That was
great.
I think that's like their main thing. They're like, we can't fuck up this dragon. We can't make this look like trash.
He looks amazing. He's like one of the things that like really stand the test of time in the movie. I think he's like one of the best things in the film. Is just like that animatronic itself. So I'm gonna screen share. I'm gonna show you guys. We're gonna see us for a second. Okay. So here we are. Okay, so here's the beginning scene, where we see I don't know. I guess what would you call like the other wizard who's a helper of the princess? I don't know what the wizard's name is. Yeah, I don't know if he's really a servant. He seems like he's a higher council member, whatever. But anyway, so here's the whole group shot of all the characters, and we could see many different iconic. We could see a bunch of iconic characters that you might recognize. Like right here is Yoda. You can see Yoda's little silhouette right here. Yeah.
Is it?
That's Yoda.
Oh yeah, it is.
My finger is right here. I mean, there's text above it, but yeah, that's totally Yoda. You can see the little ears. Also in BatYard's Finest, also with BatYard's Finest, we talked about Gumby, and we have Gumby right here in the back.
That fucking is Gumby.
There's Gumby silhouette. And we also have Chewbacca. Chewbacca's right here. He's standing in the back.
Yep, I can see the hair on the feet.
Also discussing more Star Wars characters, we have two Ewoks right here. They look like little Care Bears, but you can see the spears. So there's two Ewoks. C-3PO.
Is that 3PO?
Yeah. We got
C-3PO?
E.T. Yeah, and we have E.T. and Mickey Mouse is right here. It's a very skinny Mickey Mouse, but that's definitely Mickey. Yeah, that's definitely.
Oh my god,
that's Mickey Mouse.
But a very skinny Mickey Mouse, and that like blew my fucking mind. No, they didn't. I mean, this is before. I think they're just playing homage to all these characters, and the director Wolfgang Peterson was a big. He was friends with Steven Spielberg and George Lucas. He was big friends with them, so like they were probably like, yeah, fuck it, why not?
Yeah, how did he pull that? Well, that was before Disney got super powerful, so you could do something.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, back in the 80s, the Disney was pretty like on the verge of bankruptcy, so they probably didn't even fucking notice, and like they probably needed the help in the boost at that point. Like, yes, please show Mickey Mouse in the movie.
Exposure.
Yeah. So that blew my fucking mind. I don't know. So now
that's astonishing.
Yeah.
I can't look at that movie the same anymore now. Holy fuck.
Well, yeah. Now once I watch it, I'm gonna look for those characters. I found it like after the fact. I was like, holy shit, these characters are in the movie. That's wild. So, and also talking about Steven Spielberg. Apparently, Spielberg helped Wolfgang Peterson, who's a German director, edit the film for North American audiences, so like make the pacing like flow faster and get the ball rolling. And I guess there's like the German version is like 9 minutes longer versus the American version. And I guess for thank you, Wolfgang Peterson gave Steven Spielberg the amulet that Atreyu had like around his neck. So that's what, and apparently Steven Spielberg still has it to this day. So he has the amulet now. Yeah, I would keep that. I would definitely.
So why wouldn't
I think he has a bunch of different
like a nice little
memorabilia
gift
from different movies. I think he has the Rosebud Sled from Citizen Kane. He has a bunch of other stuff. I don't think he has stuff from his own films. From what I recall, maybe, I don't know. Yeah. So there's a bunch of little facts that I was kind of looking into. But I don't want to cut you guys off. But this is stuff I want to.
No, that's fucking dope.
No,
yeah,
I thought that was crazy.
I didn't pay that any attention at all.
I didn't pay attention to that shit. Like, that's the council. Whatever. They're discussing how not to like.
Yeah, no, we're gonna share that. We're gonna share that on the Instagram and blow people's minds because I had no idea that was part of the movie. Did you? I wanted to ask you guys, what was your introduction to this film? Like, I didn't watch this as a kid. Like, I seen this later on in high school. That's when I was first introduced to it.
Yeah, I remember you fucking going crazy. You guys gotta watch NeverEnding Story. You guys gotta watch it.
No, it rides. Yeah, it rides that like corniness and like epicness at the same time. It almost like rides that tightrope where it's like corny and fucking super like extreme and epic, and it's this whole big fantasy, like almost like Lord of the Rings, and like. I don't know. I feel like that tightrope, it's like just tickles me in the right way where it's like I can laugh at it, but I fucking like it's actually like really engaging at the same time with storytelling. So I don't know. It's like I get a unique experience from this movie.
So my experience into this was through Robot Chicken when they did the short where they're having a house party. And the one thing I remember is the kid yelling the name. So I'm like, oh, that's from a NeverEnding Story. And then, where was it? It was playing on TV. I was at one of my friends' house. I was like, that's the fucking house party movie from Robot Chicken because I saw the Rock Eater. Because they
the Rock Fighter.
It was the very end when Atreyu got to the Nothing Island. So I was like, oh, I missed the fucking whole movie, but I recognize the Rock Eater.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he actually has like a pretty engaging storyline. Like once he's like basically saying like he couldn't save his friends like with these big strong hands, you know, like that was actually pretty heart-wrenching. I was like, oh my gosh, like even this big powerful rock fighter can. Yeah. And he you see his introduction to his friends with the I don't know, the weird bat troll guy and one of the Oompa Loompas from Tim Burton's terrible Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. What's it? Oh, I got it. But
oh my God.
What is that actor's name? That's gonna bother me. It's something. Oh, Deep Roy is his name, and he's obviously dubbed. Which I think the actor who dubs Deep Roy's character, the snail racer rider or whatever he is, the racing snail.
I love how the snail's faster than the bat.
That's hilarious.
I love how he's faster than the bat. The snail was a lot faster. And the bat was falling asleep because he was just like, I'm tired of flying you. He's like, I'm done with this. I'm done with this shit. But I did like how the Rock Eater has a motorcycle.
Yeah, he was like
or a trike.
He's like
is it a trike or a motorcycle? And he just rides it everywhere.
He was like running around.
Just like, what the fuck is this?
He like completely destroyed that forest. Like, don't worry about the.
He demolished all of that.
100%. You don't even need to worry about the nothing. Yeah,
like whatever was living in this
fucking rock fighter riding his tricycle through your fucking forest. He's like killing off everything, like whatever he goes across.
We should go to the council. Yeah, let's go.
Widespread destruction.
Yeah. He doesn't even make it to the.
Like we're worried about the Amazon, and he just
doesn't even
destroying
make
a forest.
To, like the council, basically. Like you don't even see him there. I guess Chewie beat him to the punch. He took the Millennium Falcon.
They already
Yeah.
Yeah,
he
come on.
couldn't make it.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, hey, at least he made it to the end of the
true.
movie.
I mean,
Or did he? Or did he? Or he finally made it to the
Yeah.
console. What if he just made it to the console and he just like
No, I thought the Rockbiter's like story, like his arc, like he's only in 2 scenes, but like it's such a gut wrenching moment when it's like these big strong hands, they look like big strong hands, don't they? And he's just going on and on about like how he couldn't save his friends with these gigantic fucking rock hands, and then nothing took them away. And I thought that was pretty cool. I like that little arc he has. It made his character more engaging, than the other two.
Definitely really relatable. I was like, it was only like maybe 30 minutes he might have had screen time, something like that. Maybe less even.
Not even. I don't even think it was 30 minutes. It was probably like 10.
No, I think he was a good 10.
10. It felt like 30 because it was, like Josh said, when you see him, he's kind of goofy at first, and then he meets the other 2 guys, and then at the very end, you can see he's on the verge of like, I couldn't do what I wanted to do. I couldn't protect my people. I couldn't protect my new friends. What use am I? I'm a failure.
Right. Yeah. No, I agree with that sentiment. I think I'm trying to see in my notes if there's any like other facts that I want to mention. Oh, there was that resurgence of like NeverEnding Story like interest when Stranger Things season 3 released the NeverEnding Story like singing
the stupid song cover.
Yeah, when they like sing it, like Dustin and his girlfriend Susie are singing over the radio while they're like in dire need of like this math equation, whatever. My nephew Mason watched that and he thought the song was Interrupting Story, not Never Ending Story. So he was singing Interrupting Story. I'm like, what the hell are you singing? It sounds like Never Ending Story, but that's not what it is.
No, but he's right. No, he's right. It interrupted the story of Stranger Things. That's what it did. It interrupted the story of Stranger Things.
I think that's one of the more iconic.
So that's good for me. So give it to him.
Scenes from that season, though. I think that's like one of the more memorable scenes from that whole.
Well, like and that season 3 was about like of Stranger Things. Is like Dustin has like an imagined quote unquote girlfriend from like math camp or some science camp or something like that, and everyone's like, no way you had a girlfriend, no way you have a girlfriend, she's fake. And that moment happened, so like it becomes like everything he's been saying throughout this whole season ends up becoming true. So like that's the most breaking point kinda of this season, that actually get the interaction between him and that girlfriend, long distance relationship.
Yeah, so she's real, and they sing the song over the radio, I guess, because he has to make it up to her for not talking to her.
They must have like had some kind of connection with that movie.
They watched it at camp together. Duh.
Yeah, fantasy and reality. I His girlfriend was real enough to him, saying she became real.
Yeah, should we all sing the song right now?
Let's not.
You know what? So I went for a jog right before we did this podcast, and I was listening to the song while I was jogging. that song makes you sail, man.
Oh no,
it makes you fly with Falkor. I gotta say.
Well, no, it's like those memes of like at the guy at the gym, like, oh, he's just listening to heavy music. It's really Josh like NeverEnding Story.
Exactly. Oh man. 100%.
Oh boy,
I could run to that song. I guess I could live to it if I really want to. I could get into it. I got to be in a certain mindset.
Just doing a lift. Just NeverEnding Story. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a banger. It's a good song. That's basically. The one last thing I want to mention, and then the floor is yours, guys, and we could get the final thoughts or whatever you guys want to talk about. The last fact I have here is the princess. Apparently, the child actress had false teeth in, like she lost her two front teeth, and like
Really?
instead of having her have being toothless, because that would have looked pretty silly for being like a
Yeah, that looked
1,000-year-old
weird.
enchantress or whatever. They put false teeth in, but she was having a lisp because of the teeth. She wasn't used to using those fake prosthetic teeth, so she had to do extra training to even sound like she was speaking clearly without having a lisp or having, speaking elegantly. So I thought that was interesting. I didn't even notice there were false teeth.
I kind of noticed with her speech that she was
Oh.
taking extra time with her pronunciation. And I was like, that's kind of weird. But I was thinking, oh, well, maybe it just kind of fits the tone of the movie. But that makes
that's how I felt. Yeah, that's how I felt too.
Everyone talked a little slower.
Yeah, I thought she was talking slower because she was like more elegant. She was supposed to be like wise beyond her, years. Like she seemed like she was supposed to be like a youthful child, but like
And to get
thousands
the
of
point
years
out
old,
straight.
basically. So
yeah.
apparently her name's Moonchild. Yeah. Well. Yeah. My introduction to this was watching in high school, and then basically showing all my friends because I thought it was funny and amazing at the same time. So that's how I got introduced to this movie.
Yeah. What is it? I saw this when I was like little. Like, I can't even remember really how I watched it. I just know I remember some sequences, but I was like little. I was like little. Like I noticed some things from it. And I was like, okay, I remember some of this, but I'm like, I don't know 100%. So technically, I was kind of coming back to this like it's a brand new movie to me at some point.
Yeah, it's pretty dark.
Oh, okay,
brother.
80s kids films are pretty dark. So
that's when we discussed. It's like 80s films are the ballsiest time, of this like franchise, like this movie, like film, like all the film time, like the films and everything. It's just weird. It's like no one else. Like 90s is just slowly graduating out of it. Then 2000s is like meh.
Yeah, I feel like the 80s is like one of the best times for films. I think it's like one of my favorite eras, if not my favorite era of movies. So you guys want to get into final thoughts and ratings and reviews, and then we'll sign off.
I would like to take front stage once again. Don't let my earlier criticisms fool you. I enjoyed this movie a lot. I was fucking in love with the movie start to finish. I had, my annoyances and my grievances, but, in the grander picture of it, it is, that's just a grain of sand at the fucking beach. This movie, to me, reminded me a lot of the Christmas short Josh had us watch, The Snowman, because I thought this was another great euphemism in a more silly and somewhat playful way to talk about grief, death, stress, and feeling alone in a very bleak situation, as we saw both with Bastian and Atreyu, because Bastian's father was, you need to focus on school, you need to get your mind right, you need to stop all this daydreaming, son. You have more important things to do. And as we saw with Atreyu in his journey, he lost his horse, he was shot down many a time by the turtle, by the Sphinx. Well, he wasn't shot down by the Sphinx, but he was, disheartened when he went to the Sphinx, and he lost confidence in himself. And even when he made it to the reverse mirror and saw the oracle, he still did not properly get the answer he was looking for, and still somewhat lost in his way. And he relied heavily on the only friend he had at the time who saved his life, which was Falkor. And seeing all of the emotions that he portrayed and exuded, from losing the horse to trying to convince a senile turtle to help him, from trying to pick himself up from, falling into despair in the swamp of sadness, to, finding new joy in the friend of Falkor and the two gnomes. and even facing his fears to almost, self-ruin at the Sphinx when it almost killed him, but he managed, to dodge at the last second. I would, in fact, in tandem, and not in tandem, in combination, I would show a small child the snowman first and then immediately follow up with the never-ending story. Just because both
So basically, what Josh does.
had very great visuals, soundtracks, and I think, a kid would enjoy, the scenery and things a touch more in the never ending story, because sometimes it's a little more bright and popful with here and there sounds and, jokes. I would definitely give this, I'm going to give this a extremely strong 9.5. I would watch this movie again if somebody was playing it, and I would recommend this movie to anybody to watch at least one solid time.
No, I definitely agree with you. That's interesting that you connect this with the snowman. I wouldn't even think of that connection, but I guess you're right. I guess it does like kind of talk about childhood and like how to get over grief and kind of like similar themes, and it's the same era, so they kind of do fit to each other, and just how their themes are, and I guess how creative they both are. Never-ending Story. This movie is like basically if Lord of the Rings was made live action in the 80s. This is the closest thing you'll get to live action Lord of the Rings in like the 1980s. So it's like it's that epic, and I think all the puppetry and just the landscapes and how they do everything, it's like so. I want to know how they did all that. That's what I'm really interested in. Like even like when they show the giant turtle and they see you show little Atreyu on a tree. I'm like, is that like, obviously it's a miniature, but like you could think, oh, is that life size? Is that like this? Obviously they use scale models, but like it's so seamless that you can't even really tell where the model starts and where the puppet, begins. So that's what I was trying to look for, and there was nothing so obvious. And like seeing this movie in HD, like you would think you would be able to see the seams even more, but it's still as beautiful and good looking as it was when it was released in 1984. Like when you watch it now.
Well, Jim.
Yeah,
Henson
that's what I
made the
gathered.
puppetry,
I think
right?
Jim Henson did the puppetry like his heyday.
So if it's Jim Henson, he does his company does really good work, and like the puppets do last for a really long time.
I wonder what
They
a
still hold
Falkor
up
puppet is
about,
now.
like-
I would be interested in seeing where that is.
I'm quite sure that's locked in a vault
That is a
somewhere
good
that's never
question.
going to see the light of day, because that thing is worth a fucking mint.
That thing is it's probably pretty deteriorated. It's probably pretty deteriorated.
I want to know where
at
the
this
turtle
point.
went.
Like the Ninja Turtle costumes, Jim Henson made those in the 90s, and they are falling apart like today. Like if you've seen one in a case, it just looks like Donatello is melting in a glass case, and it's kind of disturbing looking. So don't look that up if you don't want your childhood to be ruined. Like, if you don't want to see Donatello basically looking like a corpse. Yeah, I would, I want to give this like a super high rating, but I think with all the aspects, I want to be fair. I'd probably give this movie a 7 or an 8. I guess we'll go with an 8. Yeah, we'll go with an 8. We'll go with an 8. I give this an 8 out of 10. And I feel like I like this movie more and more the more I watch it. So 8 out of 10.
That's very cool.
I'm sorry for 1 second. I agree with you also, because I'm gonna do the same thing with 7. With I was gonna go with rating a 7 myself, but like I was trying to find if Falkor's like puppet
Did you find it?
is still held up to this day.
We'll have to look
I
in-
can't find anything that doesn't look like
Yeah, I see
somebody made it themselves,
Yeah.
or it's from behind the scenes. Because I think the worst one of them all
see,
is
hold
like this one.
It
If
just
it
looks
will
like a
focus
bright
in.
white thing. I can't.
Oh,
Oh, that's
there
from
you
This
the.
kind of looks like a husk.
That's from. That looks like it's
That
from the
thing.
third movie. That looks like. See, it looks how. It looks shittier. So that looks like it's
That's
from
the
the third
only
movie.
thing.
It looked awful in the third movie. So that looks like.
And then there's this like one that just looks like, I don't know if this one's like real or not, and it just looks like it's like, I don't want to show it because like Josh said, do you
Okay.
want something
Okay.
getting
Show us
ruined? I'll
after.
send it to you
Post it on
guys
Instagram if you
afterwards.
want.
And I don't know. I need to see if this is like real, but it literally looks like it's a skeleton of it. It's just laying in the
No.
dirt somewhere. It's just not right. I'm like,
That's
this doesn't
probably
look
it.
okay.
Probably what it looks like.
But like, I don't know. But I'm gonna save the photo though. Add the photo. But yeah, but my rating's gonna be a 7 out of 10. I'm like, it's the storyline is a really amazing. I have my like everyone like here we have our nitpicks and everything. The movie to me I enjoyed the
Yeah.
fantasy. I really like the fantasy stuff and seeing like all these creatures come to life. And I'm kind of happy that Josh showed us the console photo. So now we know what else is added into this like never-ending story setup.
Oh yeah.
But like it's like I love the puppetry. The turtle at some points I thought had a little bit of flaw into it because like it's in the sad swamp because the sad swamp is like more dark and mysterious and gloomy. So like you couldn't really like get to see like at some points at certain angles you didn't like really see like the details well until they get more onto the face. And I did see a photo of the turtle when I was looking up the Falkor's puppet, and the photo actually was more lit up, and you actually get to see more detail and color and everything. So it was pretty. I enjoy that more. The scenery stuff is actually pretty dope. Like just saying, like I'd like to say, like it's like weird style. Like I kind of do want to see like the behind the scenes, but we haven't like found
I
that
know,
yet.
but I want
Are you sure that's not like Blu-ray DVD?
to. Yeah, I want to get on
They don't have
Blu-ray
any of
and
the
see.
behind the
I want to see if
scenes.
there's like any Blu-ray behind the scenes or anything. So
And I did I do like the like if they got rid of the Bastian stuff, I think it'd be I would think I would give it more like an 8 or like closer to a 9 area because the Bastian stuff more distracted me from the what they're doing inside the movie. But I get to see where they're trying to tie into it, but like it feels like they didn't give it more of a direction with Bastian of like, all right, just kid yell, do this. Like I feel like in the beginning they had a good pace, and like once they start interacting with the book, it just got off topic, like offset for it, and like distracted me more from it. But like other than that stuff, like I enjoy the music, the puppetry is awesome, character designs, well the creature designs is pretty nice. I didn't enjoy the bickery of the gnomes. The gnomes are actually pretty fun to have around. They weren't like they added to the story with having like they're so I like to say like they're so intertwined with their lifestyle because the wife would be like talking with the like talking and like, oh yeah, he's about to say this, and she would literally say what he's about to say, and then he would just literally shout out like, yeah, I am a master of science and all this stuff. I like tinkering, and she's like, yeah, I just said that 5 seconds ago. This is how long we've been married. I know everything he's literally gonna say. I love that whole sequence of the bickering of them. I do. I probably would say that probably is one of my favorite, my little like one of my top like segments of the movie. Seeing like the gnomes interacting and
oh
seeing like
yeah.
what they do and stuff.
Hmm.
But other than that, I have no like whatever we just said here is basically like all I got. If I will have to show somebody like this movie, I will say yes. I would like to show them the movie, but I will give them like there's gonna be certain moments where you're gonna be just like, what the fuck's happening? You just need to pay attention more.
Yeah. There is a Blu-ray of NeverEnding Story. I guess it does have special features.
Okay, cool.
Like the 30th anniversary one. So I actually, I'll probably will get this at some point and watch.
Okay.
I do want to see. I am interested in like the making of it, and I guess they have a commentary and stuff. So I'll let you know if it's worth it once I buy it. I almost wish I had it before watching the movie, like doing this. But whatever.
That's cool.
Yeah, I have to agree with Steve that the horse dying does equal trauma, especially for a young child. So I'm sure a lot of kids back in the day were traumatized by that scene. All right, so should we close out?
Oh, I got to give my picks for the next episode.
What?
Oh, right. Okay.
Oh, yes.
All right, boys, grab your pen and paper. I'm taking you back to school. So for the short, we will be watching Cells at Work, episode 7. And then for the feature-length film, we will be watching Osmosis Jones.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I'm taking you back to biology class.
Okay. Wait, what's the short?
That's the saddest thing I passed.
I'll send it to you guys when we finish up.
Okay.
And all of it is on Netflix. And I checked; it doesn't have when it's leaving yet. So if you still have plenty of time to watch it.
Well, you guys don't want to be spoiled for Osmosis Jones and what's the short?
Cells at Work.
Cells at Work. Okay, Cells at Work.
Cells at Work.
Watch that before next episode, which will come out 2 weeks from now on Tuesday. So yeah, I guess that's the episode. I'm just gonna close out. So 3, 2, 1. This is Josh from BatYard. Are you all right? This is
yeah.
This is Josh.
Why does it keep saying you lose? Why'd you leave? The host is leaving and joining again.
Okay.
It just keeps popping up saying you left and you come back.
Okay. So anyway, 3, 2, 1. This is Josh from BatYard Productions sending you off up and away until next BatYard's finest episode.
This is Jerry guiding you all with Green Lantern's light.
And this is Superman's pal, Matt, becoming super friends one episode at a time.
We did it. Bye.
Thank you for
joining
us for the NeverEnding Story. And yeah, good.